Hello and welcome everyone to Expedition Online Glacier Bay. It's day 15, the finale. I'm Jonathan Knight. With me in the commentator booth tonight, we've got Jessica Martin and Sam Donovan. How we doing tonight?
So good, so pumped. Final ascent. Let's go.
We're here. Hell yeah, let's freaking go.
Yeah, this is what we have been working up to all season. It has all been gearing up to the final ascent, where our final three explorers, we've got Danielle, Mariana, and David. All the other 15 competitors deserted. We've got 8 of them still left over in the jury. They now become a very important part of this game once again, don't they, Sam? As they've got a vote for the winner, the ultimate explorer.
Yeah, this is what it all comes down to. You know, you fight your way to the final 3, you're super excited to get there, and now 8 people that you somehow had a hand in putting them over on the jury now have your life in their hands, and they get to decide who they think is the sole explorer in this game.
Yeah, and then just the jury kind of gets their last say in this game, their last little jab if they want to, cheer if they want to. You've been in that spot. You know how that jury can get. What are we expecting tonight from them?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we get from them, because there's definitely some people who maybe took it more personal than others. And there's people fresh from the final 4. So it'll be a fun surprise to see what kind of answers we get.
Yeah, we'll get into a little bit more of that, but last episode we left off with Mike being the final player to be deserted, joining that jury. Sam, he really did all he could. He put up a good fight. It seemed like he had David kind of wavering on whether or not to split the vote between him and Mariana, maybe putting him in that spot. What did you think about Mike's fight there in the final 4?
Mike's fight in the final 4 was exactly how he played the whole game. I think Mike was the most outspoken in all of our crossroads. He never was gonna, let his opportunity slide by. And you're totally right. He almost had David on the ropes, pending what David's ultimate vote with Danielle was going to be. If he was wavering on the Danielle portion of that alliance, I think David genuinely would have gone with Mike. Unfortunately, he's in 4th place, and oftentimes we see the biggest threat of a season going out in 4th place. So, props to Mike. He played a fantastic game.
Yeah, absolutely. Just came up a little bit short there. Going in tonight, I mean, there's no competitions left. There's no strategy times left. There is just one performance left. The biggest crossroads, the final ascent. I have no idea who's going to take this. I genuinely think all 3 of these players have played a game good enough to win. It's up to the jury now to decide who's going to be the winner of Expedition Online Glacier Bay. Let's send things over.
We're here. We made it. I am really grateful of being here. I have so much respect for everyone on the jury, everyone that played this game, honestly. It's been a great cast, and it has not been easy getting here. This is not an easy cast to manipulate. This has not been an easy cast to get past. I've played from the top, the bottom, and the middle at different points of this game. I think I have almost the best arc, the best story of ups and downs. I think my fingerprints are more in this game than anyone else. I think I had more effect, I had more control, and I made more moves, I think, than anyone. And I love that there are a few secrets, little nuggets that none of the other players know that I've done, except for maybe some members of the jury that have pieced it together. But part of the reason Danielle underestimated me is she doesn't know everything I've done.
If I don't win the game, I'm going to be shocked. I 100% think I deserve to win the game right now. I don't even care against any player. I deserve this win. I'm a returning player. I made it to the finals. I made moves. I made multiple alliances. I won things. I honestly, hell yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm just so happy.
To be honest, I was actually surprised me, Danielle, and David stuck together, in a way where, them 3, they could have blindsided me, and them 3, Janet Strong, could have made it to final 3. So I'm more than thankful that us three stuck together. Honestly, I'm glad to have played with David and Danielle. Like, they're amazing. They're going to be a fun final three to go to. Yeah, I hope I have a good chance, and let's see what happens. But yeah, glad to have made it here with David and Danielle. Couldn't have asked for a better final three.
Welcome into our final ascent. Tonight we are turning the game over to the jury. Our final three is here. They will each have 5 minutes to present their opening statements, and then our jury will ask questions one at a time. They will each have 5 minutes, and then our final three will have 5 minutes of their closing statements. The order in which you will speak is determined by the number of votes that you received this season. You tied, so the tiebreaker is the number of canceled votes you received this season. So Mariana has the choice. You can go first in your opening statements or first in your closing statements. David, you will go second, and Danielle, you will do the opposite of Mariana. So Mariana, would you like to speak first with your opening statements or speak first with your closing statements?
First. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so you'll start us off. All right, so with that, we are going to turn this over to our final three and the jury. Mariana, you're on the clock.
Hey, hello jury. First off, thanks Production Docs for having me be here. This is amazing for me being my first Survivor game to make it to final three, and I'm honored to be here next to Danielle and David. As you guys may have known, David and I and Danielle, we made a Day Zero final three alliance, and to actually get here is actually really unimaginable given how fast this game can change. So I'm very thankful to be here with them. But Explorers, I want to address you individually and say each conversation I had with each and one of you was as genuine as I potentially could have been, and as truthful as I can, up until a point that I couldn't be loyal without having to risk my game further. To best describe my game, I really had to play a very intense social game. I was an underdog the entire game. I felt like, on Team Kelley, I was the underdog. I tried my best to play physically. I would say I did better physically in the first half of the game with my team or with my parties. But yeah, so in the beginning, I also had to hide 3 facts about me. One, that I'm a very analytical person. I hold a senior position in a financial analyst company. And I didn't want to come off as too analytical and a threat. And then I also downplayed my physical threat. So I love mountain climbers. I just did a 6-week gym challenge. So I didn't want to give up that I'm a physical threat because I could have done anything physical so fast. And then the third and final thing that I had to hide from everyone. So actually, Danielle and I know each other. We played in a game together in her first Big Brother game. Danielle and we played together. The entire game, I had to pretend like I was going against Danielle. We had to play and downplay that entire game. So I'm happy to have got here with Danielle and David. It was definitely hard. There were times where we're starting to, we had to really be careful to not come off as like a duo. So, and we did that. We've had secret codes. No one ever suspected it. I wanted to give you a quick timeline of my gameplay and the obstacles that I had to endure throughout the game. So even just starting with night 1, or Day 0, Carl right away called out a potential Cleveland alliance once I said I was from Cleveland. I'm like, great, David, myself, and Jess, we were going to be targeted, and Phillip, like, oh, these people live close to each other, they're going to bind together, we got to get them out. So from the beginning, I was a threat from Carl. And then, like I said, I think one of my biggest strengths in the beginning of the game was my ability to help my party pull through the various comps. And that avoided me from being a name said to vote out because I was just a good player as an asset to the team. So it just didn't make sense for people to vote me out. And then when I went to Serrated Peak, I had this huge target on me because, like when you go to Serrated Peak, everyone's like, okay, what happens at Serrated Peak? Mariana's probably going to get a compass, half compass, whatever. And there I actually learned a few facts from Anthony. Anthony gave us some information about, like how the Team Janice structure is. And I started having paranoid thoughts about Danielle. I actually told Neil that I knew Danielle, and right away I was scared, and I'm like, I immediately regretted it. So I pretty much had to sacrifice Neil as a member on the Kelley side to get rid of him, because I was scared he was going to tell someone. And thankfully, he never exposed it, hopefully. So, but I was paranoid. I'm like, I had to get rid of Neil because of that secret. But yeah, that same round, I lost Bridget and Capini. Those were like my Kelley numbers. And at that point, I felt like my game was just going down the hill. And then I guess before my time cuts off, I just want to say I was able to hide a compass for 5 rounds. I got the compass right before Phillip got out. I could have used it on Phillip, but I knew that was going to be a danger to my game. But I hid it for 5 rounds up until Olivia had to go home. I'll finish my speech later because I know it's about 5 minutes right now.
All right.
Okay, go.
Thank you, Mariana. David.
Wow, that's quite a bombshell. I did not know the two of you knew each other. Well done, well concealed. Unlike my competitors, I was playing without knowing anyone. I'm kidding. But I do want to start off and just say, like, everyone in this Discord room, you're all amazing. Like, you made this such an incredible season, and I genuinely like every single person that we played with, and it's part of what made this adventure just so much fun. So, I mean, thanks everyone for giving it your all. Like, it was so hard getting here. It really was. There was tons of ups and downs. And as most of you probably know, I at times played from the top, I at times played from the middle, and I certainly spent a good amount of time at the bottom trying to scratch and claw my way back up. So I think my best trait in this game was adaptability. I was able to, when I was at the top, make strong moves against people that I found were in my way that I wasn't closely aligned with. And when I was at the bottom, I really focused on my social game and trying to really make myself an asset that other people couldn't get rid of because they relied on me. So I think I really did a good job of adjusting my game depending on my position to really maximize my stay in this game as much as possible. I truly believe that my fingerprints and my DNA are more in the course of the way the game happened than anyone else that's playing, especially towards the end game. I know you disagree, Danielle, but I got some bombshells for you tonight. Don't you worry. I definitely at Rendezvous, I had a massive target. It became pretty public knowledge that I had a compass that Katie gave to me, and it was, and we're going to talk about that move, I'm sure, a lot tonight. And I won't talk about it too much right now, but I certainly do owe Katie an apology because I wanted to play this game with you, Katie, and I wanted to not hurt your feelings, and I failed at both. I clearly did. I thought I had played the compass in a way where I had permission to do so, and I'm promising you, I would have given it back to you if you had requested it when I offered it back to you. There may have been strategic reasons behind that. I'm not going to lie, but like I would have done it, and I wish we could have talked after it because I didn't realize I had betrayed your trust. I didn't realize I'd hurt your feelings, and I really wish we could have gotten back on the same page again because I wanted to play this game with you. You're a person I thought would never write my name down, and I never planned on writing your name down. And I was, even when I heard your name was on the block when you eventually went home, I was trying to find another way to save you. But when I found out from multiple people that you were throwing my name out there, I obviously had to, realize that I couldn't play with someone that didn't want to play with me anymore. But I'm really sorry that I hurt you, Katie. I really am. And just know that, you were right when I went out that I was a snake in this game. I'm not going to shy away from the fact that I told a lot of lies in this game to get where I am. But I was your snake. I was a snake that was really trying to fight to have us advance further in this game. And I failed at that. I ended up getting here myself, but This isn't exactly how I envisioned the season going, but I adapted. So after Katie went home and after Haley went home, I lost two of my closest allies back to back, and I was at the bottom of this game, and I had to refocus on my social game to kind of get back in good standing. But at my confessionals every night, I always voiced who I wanted my next target to be and who I thought could help get me there. But I'm not kidding you when I say that every target that I wanted the day before, after the Haley blindside, I got every target in the order I wanted them every single time. I'm not kidding. And a lot of that sometimes can be luck in finding the right people who agendas line up, but not all of it is luck. I was very good at whipping votes together against people that I found to be an obstacle in this game, and I put myself in a position where I was in a final five between two final threes that I was a part of, being Danielle and Mariana, and being Bambi and Mike, and really setting myself up to be the swing vote. In conclusion, I promise I'm going to be honest and open. I want to reveal a lot of things about the game that played, and please, just know that I'm going to be an open book, and I look forward to answering your questions.
All right, thank you, David. Danielle.
Hey guys, what's up? As you know, me and Mariana know each other since before the game. If you watched my previous season, you noticed Jon Snow came into my game. It was the same game that Mariana's from. Jon Snow was not good for my game. Mariana was a light. When I seen her, I was like, hell yes, I'm taking this girl final 2 all day. Obviously, final 3, we're here. Hell yeah. That being said, I actually applied for the game and they told me they don't want returning players really. They wanted a new fresh meat. Totally respected that. They asked me to be on a wait list, so I did. I got brought into the game mere 12 hours before it started. I was in 2 other games at the same time as this game. So I've been playing 3 games at once, crushing it. Mariana obviously was my number 1 through this whole game, through and through. When I came in, I had to pick a charity right away, and so it was like that. I had to pick, and I had just played a game, Kristen Parsons' game actually, and her charity for that game was Give Kids the World, and that's why I chose Give Kids the World. She had so much passion behind it, and cared about it so much it affected her and her son, and they've actually Give Kids the World have done things for their family, and Janet also supports, that's her charity as well. So once I seen that was Janet's charity, I knew she was going to put me on Team Janet. It's a storybook resort in Orlando where wish kids and their families are treated to a week-long cost-free vacation with nightly parties, gifts, rides, and more. This in addition to their Disney or other Florida wishes. That being said, because I had to choose so last minute, and it's obviously I'm from Canada, I want everyone to know I've decided if I do win the game, I've decided to donate 100 Canadian dollars to my own charity in my own city in Canada, the local Red Deer Ronald McDonald House. We have stayed there. I've been a part of it. I've done baking there and helped families in the past, and so that's where my $100 from myself will be going in the case that I do win the game. So I just wanted to touch base on my charities. That being said, I'm going to jump into some points of my game, some of the most important moves I made in this game, knowing that I'm on a limited time frame right now. Day 0, I made myself aware of who was in what rooms and started some relationships with the ones I was in rooms with. Once we went into parties, I used these relationships and bonds to further my game. 2 main ones specifically: David, myself, and Mariana, and Mike, Olivia, and Bambi, and myself. I also got with Mike and we created Olivia, me, him, and Haley and David. This was keeping both my alliances safe within my party. I had developed a relationship with Carl. He was on the outside of that. Nobody wanted to go out with him. I wasn't planning on developing such a strong relationship with Josh. This came in later. I pushed these alliances all game with these players to gain trust and have the numbers. I also formed these other critical important alliances with specifically Josh and Carl, 2 of my solidest allies through this game. I also pushed an all-girls alliance and dominancy to try to always ensure that there was more girls in the game than guys. I didn't want the guys to have the numbers up on us. So Carl wasn't being paranoid when that was really happening. I may have dived in some challenges, but I also proved my worth in others, specifically the scavenger hunt at the beginning, coming right behind Bambi, not saving my party, but ultimately saving myself, as I did everyone felt I did my best, and it was fair to keep me around for that round when people could have totally turned that I'm a returnee player that round and I could have easily went home. Me being a returnee player in this game and making it Final 3 is huge, period. When we were separated into multiple alliances and I was super loud and giddy in the main chat and everyone was like, what? Well, that's because I realized all of Team Janet was going into that challenge with me. I right away asked Katie and Mike to throw that challenge to me. I'm not sure if Mike actually did. He'd have to clarify that. Katie wasn't paying attention. I don't think she really did. But I also, before Katie jumped in the room, told Mike and Josh about Katie's deception with not telling anybody about the compass that she had obtained. And they already knew about it, obviously, from their previous parties. But I did, I think, gain some trust from telling them that. Although we were down in numbers, Mariana got stolen from Phillip, which was good for me. I think I was also in charge of this. Olivia had agreed to vote out Bambi with Cupini into the last 20 minutes. Olivia would also have to speak on this part because I took her into the room and said, we need to keep Bambi, not get rid of Cupini. And then that's when she agreed and we chose to get rid of Cupini again. And that was for my alliance of me, Olivia, Bambi, Mike, and myself that I was pushing since day 0. The next round we changed, and is that it? Is that what you said?
5 minutes, yeah. Wrap it up.
Yeah, I have to give the. I can tell the rest in my last round, in my last 5 minutes.
All right. She left us with a cliffhanger. Okay. Now we're going to turn it over to the jury. Our jury's going to come in one at a time. They have 5 minutes. They can address all 3 of you. They can address one person, or they can just speak for their 5 minutes. We are going to start things off with Joshua. Joshua, come on in.
Expedition Online is a game about so many different strategies and just thoughts and processes. And I gotta be honest, most of us play to win this game. You 3, not so much. David, you played a very flawed game. As the rendezvous started, you seemed to lack the ability to trust anyone who hadn't been on the same party as you for the past week. You misplayed a compass, you supposedly swindled it out of your crazy aunt into giving you the compass, and overall, you did some shady shit that pissed off a lot of people on this jury, and a lot of these people just don't like you. I gotta keep it real with you. Mariana, when I see you, I think of how much information you had in this game, and how much stuff that you just knew and held throughout this entire game, and yet you did jack shit with any of it. You didn't do nothing. And that's where we're all kind of wondering is like, where was your strategy? We know you played a good social game. You're still here after Mike threw your name out 1 billion times, but you were a scapegoat for every round. You didn't really do much in my eyes. And I feel like you're not owning up the credit that I think you deserve. You're not owning your own credit, and that's ruining your credit. Danielle, you boldly claimed when Mike was shit out of luck, we all knew he was going home, that you had never lied in this game. You had no reason to do that, and yet I think that's not only another lie, but you are lying to yourself in thinking of how much you think you did in this game. So, also, by the way, Danielle and Mariana, I just want to say, having a connection pre-game, having somebody that is pretty much your number one, somebody that you know you can trust, isn't impressive. It's like we're all a bunch of newbies playing against a blood versus water pair, and that's not fun. That's not. It's more of an unfair advantage, in my opinion. So I wouldn't have brought it up. Hey, I'm not done. I didn't address you yet. All right. I don't want to have to vote for any of you, honestly, but Doc says I have to. So my one question, and you guys get at most a minute to answer this, and I'll be timing. What has been your favorite part of this game, and why? David, go first.
My favorite part has honestly been like have a 6-month-old. I've been focusing on having a newborn baby and being a brand new dad, and it's been really great to just like play a game and do something for me and just have a lot of fun and meet a whole lot of new people. And this is a game I love. I love social games. I love strategy games. And I think Expedition Online, based on a show we all know, is kind of the perfect combination of social strategy games. And even though I'm like a fiercely honest and loyal person in my real life, you know, to me, this game gives you permission to do things that you wouldn't normally do and play ways that you don't normally play. And I love having that permission and being able to really play something for myself and play a social strategic game. But thanks.
Absolutely. Mariana, you're up.
Yeah, my favorite part of the game was obviously getting to know everyone. And to be honest, like, even though I was the scapegoat, like, literally all of the round, it felt good to be out of my comfort zone. Like, honestly, the last year or so, I've been finding myself in a lot of out of comfort zone experiences. Like, I literally, like, lost, like, 8% body fat, like, literally 2 months ago. And that just showed that I can do anything. And me being able to sway the votes every single round to not ultimately be me, when I knew I could have had 3 votes per round. People could have got rid of me literally after Phillip left. So I was so thankful to be able to make genuine relationships. I know you may have thought that I withheld a lot of information, but I told Carl that people were targeting him. Josh, I told you that people were targeting you. I didn't want to use my vote to vote you out. I literally used my token to not have to say your name. So I don't think I withhold information. I can talk about that in my final speech too.
Danielle, you're up.
For me, coming back as a returnee was huge. I played this game once and I didn't make my goal of getting to the end and winning. So for me, getting to the end in this game is like a huge thing for me. I came to play, I came to win. I'm really shocked at the comments you're saying. I felt like also in this game, I made so many close friendships with people that I plan to be friends with outside the game, yourself included. So hearing your speech actually hurts my heart a little bit. Once people hear my confessionals, they'll understand. But yeah, ultimately, my best time in this game, other than being a returnee and being at the end now, is the friendships I formed with some incredible people. There's some incredible people in here. I can't say one person played a bad game here. Everyone's game was magnificent, and I respect you all, no matter what happens, obviously, and it's been a pleasure playing with everyone. And the production team, Docs, all of the editing team, Shane, Jess, everyone that's helped.
I have one more question for you, Danielle. Did you lie in this game?
Yes, I'm sorry that I said I didn't, but of course I lied. Of course. I definitely lied. Oh, yeah.
Hey, thank you, Joshua. Katie, you are up. Come on in and address the final 3.
Hi, you guys.
Hey, Katie.
So I had a speech written up, but I have to tear it up right now because after I just heard you 3, like, none of it, like, really applies. So I'm gonna start fresh with the notes that I wrote from you guys. I'm gonna start with Danielle. Wow. I can't wait till this game's over. Okay, I wasn't really paying attention. Okay, I'll take that. And my deception. Okay. And that you're gonna donate $100 if you lose. Honey, I donated $100 as soon as you voted me out, you guys.
Oh, that's awesome. Good. That's super cool to hear. I'm donating to actually.
I didn't ask you a question. I'm talking to you.
Okay, gotcha.
Thank you. All right. David, I'm gonna ask you to defend me right there.
Defend you on what? I'm sorry.
You better watch out. Danielle's gonna say you weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
Well, she said that, she's basically putting me down. I'm like, okay, wasn't paying attention. My deception. Where is this?
No, you're a fiercely loyal player, and I feel like it kind of came down to a miscommunication that like just blew up our game. But like, you're a fiercely loyal player, and I have a lot of respect for who you are and what you've been through. And I really wanted to play a lot deeper with you. I really did.
So, David, I did ask you for the compass back. So it hurt me
When?
just to hear a few minutes ago.
At Crossroads? When? I'm sorry.
No, David, we talked about it before that, and we talked about it the day before that when you said that you were going to possibly use it. So, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not what we agreed on. So that, I was hoping that you were going to like tell the truth on that.
I'm not kidding. If we had that conversation, I really don't remember it. But do you remember me asking at Crossroads? I told you, I said I could give this back to you.
Yeah, but you were
if you want, I can give it to you right now. And what I remember you saying was, do what you need to do, which I took as permission. In this game, people do sometimes play compasses to protect allies.
But you know the game better than I, and I was already told that that couldn't happen. So,
what?
You were grandstanding. I asked you twice for the compass back, and then remember you said, "Come with me and talk to me in this room." So you went to a room where there's only 2 people, and Mike was in there, and you never came out. And right before you went in there, you said, "There's another half a compass," and then you just left me. So from the beginning, and Danielle, you don't know this unless David shared it, but I don't think he did. And also Mariana, is during the beginning of the show here, I actually wasn't quite sure what this was. Like, really, I thought it was a dating game at first. Like, honestly, right? So, I mean, I really didn't know, because people were like, I was like, I have no idea how I got into this. I really didn't know the game. And I was getting frustrated because I have a disability, and I shared it with David and with Haley early on. And I'm a survivor of a traumatic brain injury. I had to learn to read, and I have some difficulties. So I was like, I really shouldn't be in this. David's like, no, I'm going to protect you. And then we went to Bill, and remember I used my disc, and you came to me and you said, David, you didn't use that disc correctly, and somehow, thank you. Oh, thank you. So anyway, you told me I didn't use the disc correctly, and somehow, and I don't remember this part, and I do want to watch this, I shared with you, or maybe, I think, what's her name? Jess told I had the compass or whatever, and I don't know what these things were. I didn't even know to go find. You'll notice when you watch the game, I never even knew to look in for any more until, David, you told me there's another half of one later on. But anyway, after Bill got voted off, David said, I'll hold on to this compass for you so that you don't misuse it. Okay. So I was like, oh, now I'm afraid I misused the token. I might misuse this thing. So anyway, I was at and I felt very vulnerable giving you my story. I never wanted anyone to know. And Danielle, did you know to the end here? Did you know about my brain injury?
No, I didn't know about your brain injury until right now. No.
Okay. Well, I never wanted anyone to know, but I shared that with David, and we had this. And he said, I will protect you because you don't know what you're doing. So shortly after that, David, you started telling me I'm getting scared. You're getting scared that you might have to use it. I'm thinking, well, shit, I thought you were helping me with this thing, So, like, I was like, wow. And so, Danielle, I was not deceptive.
No, I didn't mean deceptive.
I'm not asking you a question. I'm telling you. I was not deceptive. I was just trying to figure out if I should just bail out of this because I didn't know what I was in a place I really shouldn't have been. It was like someone coming to a poker table that doesn't know how to play poker. And I didn't know what to do. But David's like, listen, I'll help you along. I got this thing. So from there on in, I just went along. And I never knew what being on a jury was going to be or when that was for. I knew none of this. Anyway, when Phillip said that he thought I was deceiving him, then my feelings I was like, oh my God, he thought I'm deceiving him. I shared it with Phillip and someone else. But anyway, long story short, I do want you guys to know that. And that's it. And no more.
I got a ton of love for you, Katie, and I really do hope I didn't ruin a chance at being friends with you outside of this game. I really do. And I'm sorry with how things went.
Thank you. Right, good luck to you guys.
Thank you, Katie. Phillip.
Hey, guys.
Howdy.
As the kind of self-proclaimed mayor of the jury, I've had a lot of chance to think about, reflect, and kind of try to think about things that I could have done differently. But also, I think more importantly, the biggest word for me that constantly sticks out in this game is intentionality. Because I think some people in this game can skate by, they can do things, they can get by, but what you don't know is what people did intentionally throughout this game. And so, you know, I think what I want to know from each of you, and the questions that I'm going to ask is, truly, what was your intention behind those actions, or what was your intention at certain points in the game? Because what's going to win it for me is who I think is here, who deserves to be here the most, who did things for a certain way to get them to this point. And so, kind of to start that off, just with Mariana, I think you do have some intentionality behind your game, but I'm going to give you kind of benefit of the doubt here a little bit. I want you to describe what was your most intentional move in this game that got you to this point.
Okay, really good question. I think I want to say there were actually two moves. I know the whole, Josh kind of mentioned how me and Danielle knowing each other is kind of a disadvantage or a benefit, or disadvantage, I'm sorry. However, like, I didn't vote for Danielle to win in her game. I could have thought that she was going to target me. Like, I could have easily not worked with her. So, like, for me to actually see her intentionally playing with me, it actually showed that she was a good player. And the other thing, Phillip, I really wanted to go to the end with you as far as I could have. However, people started targeting you and me together, and that was starting to be so bad for us. And my true intent was to go as far as I could with you, Phillip. And as you might have heard, I did receive that compass from that Discord chat. Right when you mentioned it, I literally sent it to Shane or found it in Kelley's profile literally 5 minutes before you mentioned this. And I was truly thinking of using it to save you, but I knew that may have costed my game down the road because people were going to target me after you, and I wanted you to be there with me to the end. I feel like it would have had negative consequences for me.
Danielle, same question. What was the most intentional move you made during this game? And try to make it under a minute if you can.
My most intentional moves started at the very beginning of this game on day 0. Coming in as a returnee, I knew right away I was going to be targeted potentially because of that. So I right away figured out who I was going to make alliances with and push them to be strong and solid as far as possible. That was intentional. There were certain people I wanted to work with long term. Carl and Mike were the two of them. And then Olivia and Josh ended up being surprises. I didn't plan on making the relationships with them. I did, but intent to push those alliances through the whole game. I pushed them and pushed them. Also, I intentionally, constantly diverted as much as I could from Mariana. To keep her in this game with me. Me and Mariana might know each other from previous, but we haven't spoken really since the last game, which was like in March. So I wanted the opportunity to work with her and show my loyalty and take her to the end. And I think that's a huge thing, being able to go to the end with someone personally. But that was intentional on my part, 100%. And yeah.
Danielle, great. And then David, we talk a lot about intentionality. Can you describe the intentionality when you asked to hold Katie's compass? What was the true intention behind that?
I had bad intentions. I will be honest. Absolutely. I'm a huge fan of the show. And when I see, Sari convince someone to, have Eric give up immunity to Natalie, I wanted to make this big move of trying to convince someone to do something that they shouldn't do. And it kind of backfired in a way because of how genuine Katie was and how personally she was playing. I did, after getting it, and the amount of trust she instilled in me really made me want to play with her. And that's absolutely true. But when I came up with a plan to try and get the compass from her, it really was to make a big move and to make a selfish move.
Do you feel like you took advantage of a situation?
I definitely came in wanting to manipulate it and being able to use it to my advantage, but the way it ended up going, I did want to play for us. And I talk about that in a lot of my confessionals, is that all of a sudden I felt like I was playing for 2 players and I wanted to play for 2 players. And it changed the way I was playing the game at that point. And, it ended up blowing up and I ended up having to play the game by myself again. But,
okay. Thank you, Phillip. Olivia.
Hi, guys. congrats. I know that you've gotten some shit from the jury so far, and like not everyone thinks that you guys are deserving, but you did outlast all of us. So I'm proud of you guys for all doing that. Before I ask my question, I just wanted to get a little bit more clarity on the rounds where Carl and I went home, because I feel like I still have a lot of questions and I'm trying to fill in some of those gaps. So which one of you played your token on the round that Carl went? Okay, why?
Okay, so what I did is I came to the realization that my vote didn't matter. There was a lot of votes coming towards Carl, and I thought my vote was going to matter more and more and more as it got deeper. So I took a risk, and I played my Destiny token full well hoping that I was not going to hit it, because I wanted to be able to have information that no one else had, and be able to potentially manipulate that to get someone out, maybe put some paranoia that so-and-so played their Destiny token. It kind of changed how it went, because everyone was so sure that Carl played his Destiny token. But then I had this little gift of the Mike vote, because I was the only person in the game that knew that the Mike vote was Carl. I knew that for sure, but I didn't tell anyone that, because information is power, and I knew I could use that to just spin paranoia. And it ended up working like so perfectly, because from what I understand, Olivia, you threw out Danielle as someone that didn't write it down. I just wrote down Carl on a piece of paper of like, yeah, I voted for Carl, but I didn't vote for Carl. I didn't vote. And that put a fracture between you and Danielle. And then Mike was kind of thrown, and it put a fracture between you and Mike. And you were someone, Olivia, that I wanted to work with, but we just never really clicked strategically. And I threw, wood on the fire. And as soon as you threw out Mike's name, I went right back to Mike. And even though I could, address the whole controversy and be able to tell people exactly how exactly what happened on the previous vote, that information was valuable to me. And I really did try and weaponize that to get you out, because you were close to Danielle, you were close to Mike, and I was close to both of them, but getting you out made them closer to me.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So then who was the Josh vote? Okay, I was on to something when you didn't have that piece of paper.
Yeah, I couldn't admit that because I knew Josh would be upset, but I was hoping that Carl was going to use his token and save himself, and the other vote would have been Josh. I love Josh, but I thought Josh was a massive threat in the game, and if he went out, I didn't want him to know I had a part of it. That being said, I did know you were having votes, Olivia. I told you beforehand. I was in a room with David at the end before that even happened and knew that that was the route it was going, but I still voted Josh. If I would have voted Mike, it would have been a tie vote, 3-3. And then I think in the revote, Bambi would have voted you out. So I didn't want to anyone to see that I was deceiving Mike. I didn't want Mike to think that I voted him. And so that's where I was standing.
What Danielle told us last night is that she voted for Josh for jury management. That's specifically what she said. She didn't want you to know that she betrayed you.
Carl's vote, I voted for Josh. I voted Josh twice.
Yeah, no, that's what I was asking.
I voted Josh.
Olivia, am I misremembering? Didn't Danielle say that she voted for Josh for jury management when it came to the Olivia vote, or was it the Carl vote?
The Carl vote. And I told Carl I would never vote him, so I didn't. So I voted Josh, and that was jury management. And I absolutely love them both, but I said that on behalf of the Carl vote.
I got you.
Okay, and so the vote where I went home, you knew that I was going?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know for sure what was going to happen. To be honest, I didn't know for sure. We had made that signal with the hair putting up thing, and so I put my hair up, and I thought you guys were actually going to vote Josh, not Mike. So I was expecting 3 votes Josh, and then obviously the other 3 votes landed on you, so it would have tied there. I didn't expect you and Mariana to vote Mike, but it ended up working out for my game in a better roundabout. No offense, Olivia, but you eventually, I did consider going longer in the game with you, but at the same time, you were a huge threat. You're super smart. You did a lot of things, so at the end, you would have been a threat to win the game over me.
For Mariana. I want you to tell me, like, which relationship with a jury member, like not someone in the final 3, was the most important for your game, like the most beneficial for you, and like how it helped you get to the end.
Yeah, let me see. To be honest, Olivia, actually, I would actually say it was you. That vote where you went home, I wanted you, me, Danielle, and David to make it to Final 4, to be honest. And when I had to play my compass, I was actually heartbroken that I had to lose you in the process. Like, and I had no idea that you were gonna get so many votes. So like, losing you was actually a disadvantage to my game, because that made me like less nervous of who would actually take me, or more nervous of who would take me to the end. Because you, me, and Danielle had like the votes to go like all girl alliance throughout the entire game. So like you were such a great asset to my game. So like, I think out of everyone, you and Josh, like I was so loyal to Josh too. Like I didn't want to say Josh's name. Yeah, you and Josh, to be honest. And thank you for. I'm sorry that you took the sacrifice. I'm so sorry.
All right, thank you, Olivia. Bambi.
Hey, so I really want short, succinct answers, and if you talk too long, I won't vote for you. So my first question for all of you is, do you think you have my vote, and why? And if you ramble, you lose my vote. And I want to start with Mariana.
So Bambi, I really do hope I have your vote. We had that Kelley connection since day one. And I know we kind of started losing paths down the road, but I really hope that you saw what I was doing through the game. I had to hide some of my physical strengths, and I did ultimately recover with my social game. But I really hope you can see me and support Kelley in this. And I understand if you have better connections with Danielle and David. I respect your position wherever you go.
David?
I have no idea, honestly. I guess I don't really know your criteria for voting. I hope I have your vote, but I have no idea.
All right, and Danielle?
Yes, I hope I have your vote. I think we played a good game together. I think you respect good gameplay, and I think I played the best game.
All right, and now my question is for Mariana. I want you to talk some mad trash about Danielle and David's game, because the way I see it, you were in the sidelines. So I want you to talk the hardest trash.
Sure. I'm sorry, David and Danielle in advance.
All good.
I mean, okay, so I honestly think I played the cleanest game out of Danielle and David. Danielle did have to lie more to get to where she was, but I was trying to be as genuine as I could and give out facts when I could. Like I said, I told Josh, I gave Josh a warning that he was going out. I gave Carla a warning he was going out. I'm trying to think. Sorry, I'm like thinking hard. David, I mean, he could have went whenever. I honestly thought David was going to cross me at some point, because he did have you. He had Mike. He had Olivia. I could have been gone whenever. Like, this Danielle, David, Mariana alliance could have been gone since Phillip left. And to be honest, like, I'm so thankful that, this 3 made it here, but it could have been gone whenever. But yeah, Danielle had to pull a lot of crazy stunts to get here. Whereas I feel like I was able to be more genuine in my ways of getting here. Yeah.
That's fine.
I don't know what to say about David.
I have another question for Danielle and David, but I want to start with David. Talk about your jury management.
So it sounds like I might have done pretty poor jury management from the sound of it. But basically, like, I wanted my game to speak for itself. And my main concern was getting to the final 3, because I felt like if I could get to the final 3, I could really state a strong case for why I played, and I could show some aspects of my game that people didn't necessarily see. So I was concerned about getting the final 3, and I was hoping my game would speak to it for itself. So I did not really focus on jury management, honestly. So.
All right, and Danielle?
For majority players on the jury, I did prove loyalty at some point in the game to them. Yes, I did lie in the game. I had no choice to do what I did to get to where I am. I did different things for different people for certain jury management, also on a friendship level, and it was some games, some jury management. There was definitely a mixed combination there. I feel like a lot of the people I aligned myself with this is a strong jury no matter what, but ultimately I feel like they like the same kind of gameplay I do, and I hope they respect my gameplay in that matter and see the game I played and how hard I played and what I did to get to where I got and what I had to do. Yes, I knew Mariana from before, but I didn't take Mariana to the end because I thought she was an easy win against that. And I even told this to Mike. I said, don't discredit Mariana's game, because I'm not going to discredit that, and I won't discredit David's either. But I do feel I played the best game, and I tried my best to do as much jury management as I possibly could.
All right. I guess that's it.
Thank you, Danielle, by the way. Thank you, Danielle.
All right, thank you, Bambi. Mike is up.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Great game, all three of you. I'm gonna be a little tough, but the friendships that we built, genuine, 100%. But I want to get to the meat of things. So I'm gonna actually start with Danielle because it's a great segue from what you just said. I'm gonna be honest, I don't respect your game, and I'll explain why. You consistently came to Crossroads playing the middle, gave vague, unthoughtful answers. You meant to ensure that if you did end up on the wrong side of the votes, that you could at least figure something out when you went back, right? So I get that gameplay, but it wasn't bold. It wasn't anything that was exciting to want to give you my vote. You were always aware of things, but you never made yourself seem aware of things. Even the 2 times your votes were questioned, you were showed loyalty and support, specifically by me. You repaid that with a lack of commitment and a lack of respect. Although you never voted for me until the end, your lack of commitment was palpable and inconsistent. You say that you stayed true to the Day Zero alliance you created, but I want to know this. Besides this Day Zero, this 3. So besides creating this undetectable alliance and then manipulating the rest of us, what was admirable about your game? What is something that you did that I can respect and appreciate in a game that you came into deceiving people on Day Zero?
Admirable about my game. That is a huge thing. To be honest, did I expect this final 3? No. For me, I basically was kind of playing round to round, so my gameplay was consistently changing, except for the relationships were really hard because they were so tight. I did tell Carl since the very beginning I would never vote Carl. I would never write his name down. And so when the vote got pushed onto Carl, I wanted to use my compass, but I'm a player that's not going to use my compass on anybody but me, or potentially Mariana at that point. And so, but I didn't vote for Carl. So that is one admirable move I did make on my loyalty to Carl. With Haley, I tried to tell her ahead of time, we were in the room at the end, I tried to say, they think you have a compass, girl, to try to hope she would use her destiny token, but I wasn't straightforward on that and made it clear either. So, that's not really admirable either. My game was a lot of manipulativeness and strategy, and I will own that. I felt I had to play that type of game in the circumstances I came into. So if you don't respect that, that sucks. But unfortunately, as a returnee player, and I have been in another game, it's usually not as easy to get this far as I've gotten this far. It ain't that easy. You usually go out quickly. So I did the best I could to be loyal when I could, but I had to shift when I had to shift.
Okay, good answer. David, same question, and then I got something to say.
In terms of being admirable, I guess that's not something I was necessarily looking to play. I was looking to play hard, I was looking to play deceptive, and I was looking to make genuine connections. So I think you should admire my strategy. I think you should admire how I weaved and bobbed. I really do.
But I'm confused by the idea of coming into a game where you're gonna be deceptive and you're gonna like do all these crazy things, and then specifically say that you want to build these genuine bonds, because those genuine bonds is what then ends up you used people. So let me just say what I need to say and I'll move on. You sat there multiple crossroads and said nothing. You made me feel like I was your number one. I was 100% with you. On one aspect, I want to respect it. You played me. But it wasn't that you played me. It was how you played me. You continued to let me feel like there was an option for me. You had no intention of helping me, Katie, or Haley. You made me feel bad for you. And you were sitting there ready to shut me out as soon as you were able to. You celebrated when I lost the challenge yesterday. You celebrated. You celebrated numerous occasions during this game when you shouldn't have. I am disgusted with your gameplay. I'm sorry.
Whoa. Wow.
But I'm more disgusted that I trusted you. I feel so deceived by you, David, and there's other people on this jury that feel the exact same way. You played people.
Can I say one thing?
You had your chance. You had your chance to be admirable, and you chose not to. So I'm going to move on to Mariana. I have to.
Okay.
I don't have much more time. So, Mariana, you played a good game. You connected with the two people that clearly trusted you, wanted to go to the end with you. You were the sole remaining Kelley Explorer. You remained untouchable through the majority of the rendezvous, and only received 3 votes. However, I think the jury views your game as a traditional GOAT. You attached yourself to 2 strong game players and rode that out to the end. It is a legitimate strategy, but I want to believe there's more to the story. Can you tell me a villainous move, something on par with both Danielle and David that didn't have anything to do with either of them?
Yeah, I can give you an example right now. So like I said, I hid my compass for 5 rounds. So I was thinking of telling Danielle right away, but I didn't tell Danielle until the Olivia vote happened. So both Danielle and David were at a disconnect of what happened. So like I literally went with the flow of everyone thinking that Haley and Bambi had the compass, and I just like rolled with it. It protected me for 2 rounds. So the most villainous thing that I did was hiding from Danielle that I had a compass when she could have told you, she could have told David that I had this compass, and she would have saved Haley. She probably would have saved Haley, and then honestly, like me voting out Haley was probably going to. I thought I was going to impact my relationship with both Danielle and David, because I'm like, shoot, like I didn't tell them about my compass, and they had Haley in their pockets. Like they respected, they loved Haley. So I think that was the most thing that I did, was just hiding my compass.
All right, thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to say really quick, whatever I said, all gameplay, like what I had with all 3 of you guys, totally genuine. Love you all. Good luck to all 3 of you.
Hey, time for Carl to address our final 3.
All hail King Carl!
All hail!
King Carl!
All hail! King Carl. I may not be the queen of Expedition Season 3, but y'all are all gonna learn. I'm the mother effing, because I'm keeping it King of Kings. And y'all are gonna learn this, that this crown I'm wearing, one of these crowns will be sitting on one of your heads from me personally, but y'all gotta earn it. Gotta earn it. David, congratulations, you made the final 3, all 3 of you. How's it feel playing for 3rd place? How's it feel? That's not a question, that's a statement. Secondly, I believe everything Katie said. You're a snake, I'm a snake too. I get it. I don't respect your game. My game lies between the 2 females. And I think I personally made a lot of right calls. I called the Cleveland Alliance. I called the Girls Alliance. I called so much shit in this game. Okay? The fact that I got one of my questions answered by who voted for who. I was the Mike vote, because I was trying to play a dirty move on Mike. Okay? The fact that you didn't vote for me, Danielle, don't mean shit, because I am not jury management, I am not. No, you're my girl. We don't need to talk. You played me just like you played everybody else on this jury. You did. And still, you had your compass. You could have played me. You know what? It would have won you the freaking game. Because I can't promise you the game today. If you would have played that, I promise you, I have influence. I do. They don't call me the king for nothing. I'm gonna go to my girl. Listen. I'll be honest with you. I am Team Janet, Team Red, whatever. And the fact that you're a Team Kelley and you're here and everybody was afraid to write your name down. They wouldn't. They did everything. You played everything right. The only mistake, the only bad call I made in this game was that I thought you threw the vote. I thought you threw my vote. I thought you did. That's the only wrong call I made. But I promise you, I think out of everybody's game, even though, David being goatish, Danielle's being, she dominated in a lot of things. And you know what? I'm not the only return. You're not the only returning. I played season 0 of this. I've played many times. I know this whole community. Secondly, y'all two ain't the only relationship. I know Olivia. You know what I mean? So, and I knew Bill.
Dang.
Here's my one question, okay? My one question. I promise you, there will be a crown in the mail. A King Carl, the Covenant King Carl crown will be received by one of you three. And I want to know why I need to spend my money and send it to y'all, because that's what's going to happen. I need to know why. And I'm going to start with the GOAT himself.
Okay, yeah, I had no idea that was my perception. Certainly if I lose, clearly my jury management was shit, and I would deserve it. But cheers, man. Like, I got nothing but love for you, Carl, and I hope if you send me a crown, it's because I won the game, because people disagreed with you, I guess. But nothing but love, man.
Oh, that was real convincing. I might as well just send it. All right, Danielle, please tell me why I should vote for you and why I was good.
You have been my king this entire game. When you see my confessionals, I preach Carl all freaking day. I told you I'd never vote you. I didn't. I stayed true to that, whether you respect that or not. I fucking love you, man. And I'll pay you to ship me a crown just because I want to get a picture with you in a crown. No, but I'd love to meet you in real life, dude. I think you're solid as a rock, and you were in my final 3 plans. It just obviously didn't work out. And I did question myself on using that compass on you multiple times, but I figured I was gonna need it sooner. I didn't end up needing it sooner, but I thought I was gonna. Sorry.
Into my only Team Blue left. The only one that ever told me the truth, I felt like.
Oh, thank you. No, Carl, you are an absolute legend, by the way. Yeah, so I kind of want to go again. I kind of want to continue on with the whole sideline things. I feel like I had to adapt and pivot in this game the most out of everyone, only because of the whole fact that I was on Team Blue. Even though, thank you, Carl, for integrating me into your team. Honestly, I saw you, me, Josh, Danielle, Olivia going far. I really did. But then once I started hearing your name, honestly, at that point, I felt like I had to do anything to stay in the game. And if the majority was going to go towards you, I'm like, okay, well, I need to show these people that I would take out a guy like Carl. So, Carl, I did vote for you, but only for my own safety because of, I didn't want people to come after me down the road. But yeah, I feel like this entire game, like I said in the beginning, I was a huge team player in the beginning of the game. I helped my parties win, and then ultimately my individual game obviously had to rely on the social aspect because I wasn't winning anymore. I almost had the nothing climbers, but then Olivia just beat me with the puzzle. But yeah, Carl, you were amazing to my game. I told you the truth because I felt so bad you and me being in that camp and you had no idea. So I wanted to at least leave you with that people were saying your name. And it was very tough for me to even own up to that because it could have bited me in the back, which it did because Mike told me hey, Carl told me, or something about Mike. I forgot what happened with Mike, but yeah. Yeah, no, I respect you so much as a person, Carl, and I hope you see the moves I had to do to get this far, being the underdog, being one of the 2 only people in Kelley to get here.
I'm just gonna leave you guys with just this statement. David, I respect the fact that you're in a place that I want to be, because this is not the final 3 that I envisioned, even ones without me. I respect that, but that's it, dude. And okay. I'm sorry you don't have my vote. Okay, you don't. Right. I'm gonna be honest. And
that's fine.
Between the 2 girls, Danielle, I am not jury management. I'm not. I'm your ride or die. I am supposed to be there with you. I am very offended that you didn't take me with you and that you didn't save me. Mariana, I know you had a compass. You could have played it on me. But I'm going to be honest with you. You were the most... I believed everything you said to me. I believed you told me the truth. And I seriously, was totally Team Janet. I made everybody wear red. I did everything, for Team Red. And you changed. Once I got on a party with you, you changed my whole, I wanted, you know what I mean? I should be voting red, but I'm more impressed with the fact that you're here.
All right, thank you, Carl.
Hey,
thank you, Carl.
And Carl.
Woo!
All right, and our 8th and final juror, Haley.
Hi everyone. So I will start off by saying congratulations. You made it to a point where the rest of us could not. So while I have heard a lot tonight, I do have to tell you I have come in without a decision. So I believe that I am the last juror to address you guys, not because I'm here to rip you apart or roast you like we've seen tonight, but because I am your last chance for you to directly address what the jury wants to hear. Okay, so what we're looking for is absolute honesty as well as complete ownership of your gameplay. So from a jury perspective, I feel like all 3 of your games have been very hidden because all I have heard is what you have had to say at Crossroads, which has not been a lot of stuff. So here is what I'm looking for from you. And I'm going to give each of you a minute to address this question, and I will cut you off at that minute mark. So aside from this apparent day 0 alliance that we have learned about, so I don't want to hear about these relationships, I want you to boil your game down to 1 moment. Okay, so I want to know what was the key decision or move you made that you would say got you here tonight. I would like to hear from Mariana first.
Yeah, okay, I want to say the whole compass thing again. So honestly, the only reason why, so to be honest, I actually had to flush my compass on the Olivia vote. I could have saved my compass for the next round for Final 6 to get to Final 5. And that could have been my safety into Final 5. Or even Final 5 to Final 4, to be honest. However, I knew everyone was coming after me, and I thought it was just better just to flush it out, show that, hey guys, here, I'm literally giving my only safety in this game away. And honestly, the next round, I honestly thought I was going to go because of me having the compass. So I felt like I had to sacrifice that compass to show that I could go back to level 0 with the rest of them. And then I would go back to playing at the same level. I had the same chance to win the competition, had the same chance again to, solidify my relationships with Danielle. Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
Ultimately, when I decided to go to the serrated peak in cahoots, I stole that basically from Carl or Kitty. I knew since the beginning I wanted to take it, but I had to pick the right moment, said I was hangry. I won a compass in that time. I lied to everyone about it. No one even seemed to question it. I took my compass to the end at Final 5, where I held David in a room until we went into Crossroads and I told him I had the compass, that I was playing it on myself, and then I'm not sure, he claims he was going to vote with us, but I truly think David would have voted me out at that point if I didn't have that compass and play it, but he claims he didn't. But I held him in the room until Crossroads to ensure that he didn't go and tell Mike and Bambi and they flipped the vote or something got screwy. That being said, right after that, with the Josh vote also, when he found out I voted him, I won exemption when I needed to, because I think Josh would have pushed me to get out the next round.
You, Danielle.
That was important.
David, go ahead.
Yeah, I think my key play was definitely slowly but surely cutting out the people that weren't part of the final 3 alliances that I did have. Olivia was probably the biggest one because how well connected she was. She was super well connected to Danielle, super well connected to Mike. And although I didn't know exactly how it would play out, me playing the Destiny's token was such a gift. And I was able to weaponize the paranoia that created to really drive rifts in between people. And I was put in a position where Danielle and Olivia were talking about maybe getting Mike, and Mike was an option to get out at that point, but Mike was the person I trusted the most in the game at that point. And Olivia, I didn't have as close of a relationship with him. So I really feel like by taking out Olivia at that point, I was really able to take control of the game. Second place would probably be getting rid of Bambi at that point. Yeah.
So thank you all for your answers. My advice for you is if there is anything else that you can tell us in your final closing speeches, up to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Haley. We've heard from all 8 of our jury members. So now we're going to give each of our final 3 5 minutes to close. We're going to go in reverse order. So Danielle, you're going to go first, then David, then Mariana.
Oh my
Danielle.
goodness. So much of my stuff got brought up already, so I'm just going to kind of wing this. At Final 10, I had 7 out of 10 players as my number ones. So for my game, that was huge. I won exemption when I needed it. I got a compass, as we just based on from Haley. And at the Final 4, I won exemption to get me here right now. I believe if I didn't do that, there's a good chance I wouldn't be here right now. I made many moves. Some were loyalty, some were what needed to be done. There was many lies in my game. Some I remember and some I don't, to be absolutely honest. Josh, many times you could have went out of this game, and I chose to definitely, I loved you in this game. When the girls were all there, we could have easily voted you out, and I pushed to vote Jess out because I didn't want it to be showing that we were an all-girls and alliance, and I also wanted to move that loyalty with you and Carl more. I was actually pushing to work more long-term, me, Mariana, Carl, and Josh. It's in my confessionals over Mike and Olivia, but then everything just, as the game goes, I just had to adapt with each round, and things ended up where they are now just because of literally adapting with each round. It's hard when there's so limited time to talk and we can't talk 24/7 like most games. You got to go off of what happens each round. I absolutely love everyone in this game. I have played to win. I might have been deceptive. I might have lied. In the long run, my relationships with everyone are true. I love you all. I think you're wonderful people. It's been an absolute blast to be here. And I don't even know. I had a lot of input on the votes. Me and Mike definitely had control the first half of Team Janet of directing the votes with our alliances together, pushing people's names and dominating together. That was definitely a lot of me and Mike, but then I was also with Josh and Carl on the side, and it's just, Carl, please don't think that I didn't mean to offend you. When I said that was jury management, to be honest, and I'm not even making this up. Yeah, I said it was jury management, but it was truly, honestly, loyalty. I would have just voted you out. I love you, Carl. If I don't get your vote, it's all good either way. I think you're a freaking beauty. But I did not want to take you out of this game, and I could have used that compass, and it's just so hard when you're in the heat of the moment. If I would have, there was still a lot of heat. I was still trying to protect myself because I wanted to win the game, and ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm playing for me and nobody else. I did play this game a lot for Mariana as well. I defended her many times. You claim your relationship with her was trust and loyalty. I had to push and tell Mariana many times that to trust you, and I had to tell you we can trust Mariana. I had to tell multiple people this, and people, Bambi, Mike, many people push Mariana, and I helped keep her in this game. That's just facts. And at the end of the day, this is a game, and it's been an absolute blast. 100, baby.
All right, thank you, Danielle. David, time for your closing statement.
I'll address Mike first because I did just want to respond to what he said. I know you thought I was celebrating that you were eliminated at the final challenge, but I was celebrating that I won. Like, it wasn't that you eliminated, it was that I advanced. So, I apologize if that seemed unsportsmanlike, but I was really worried for my chances too, because anything could happen at the final four, as Danielle proved, because Danielle definitely floated getting rid of me. She pulled me into a room and had a conversation with me, basically saying, if I were to betray you, would you vote for me? Which is a pretty ballsy thing to do. And even though I would have been open and been totally open to voting for her, I knew I was begging for my life. So I had to tell her, like, no, I'd be very bitter. Like, you're someone that I made an alliance with. And I really think that Danielle's choice at the end really came down to who she thinks was going to vote for her. So, I did get a bit paranoid, Mike. I wasn't sure if you were as loyal to me as I was to you. And I was trying to build close bonds with people and have a flexible gameplay depending on what scenario I thought gave me the best path to the end. I was absolutely willing to work with you and Haley. I was absolutely working to work with some other people, and it really was putting myself in a position to be a swing vote. And, I know that's a bit snaky, but I was trying to play as hard as I could. And I was trying to play the type of game that I like to see. But I understand that, it rubbed people the wrong way, and my jury management might have really sucked, it sounds like. But I truly do respect everyone that played. It was a crazy season with lots of twists and turns. After the Haley blindside, I was on the right side of the votes the rest of the way. The Carl vote I actually didn't vote for, but I knew where it was going, and that was what I wanted to happen. And I feel like at the end game, like, no one had more control of whipping votes into the direction that was favorable than me. And I'm the only person in the final three that didn't have the advantage of coming in knowing someone else. I personally don't necessarily think that's something to respect. It's kind of an unfair advantage that none of us knew about, and it obviously can impact the game deeply. But I have nothing but love and respect for Mariana and Danielle. I really do. I think they played fantastic games. I think that anyone up here would be a deserving winner, and I'm sorry that a lot of you don't feel that way, but I know I played my hardest. I try to play a game that I like to see. And, if it's not a gameplay you respect, I get it. I get it. But just know that I played as hard as I could. I took control when I needed to take control. I played a really strong strategic game. I played a strong social game with who I needed to. Josh, totally valid complaint when it comes to not being open to play with new people, but I trusted who I had. And lastly, I want to address what Josh said right before. I do want to talk about my charity real quick. The charity I'm playing for is Tenderfoot Learning Lab. It's an organization in Southern Ohio that focuses on teaching sustainable learning techniques to college students and students. They're a very young charity. They're owned by one of my very best friends in the world, Travis Harding, and his wife, Lindsay Rudabaugh. They do amazing work of getting students to live with them on this really unconventional farm where they're growing and they're composting, all while the kids are going to school and learning other things. It's an amazing organization that I have a lot of faith in. They don't have big donors, and there's someone that a few $100s could mean a lot to them. And I even talked to him early today to see, like, if I was able to win them some money, what would they do with it? And he told me that, like, the next project that they really need funding for is to build a greenhouse, a low-cost greenhouse made of recycled windows. And I just thought that'd be kind of cool for you just to know a bit about where that money would go through if I win. But I love you all. I hope you respect my game. If you don't, I understand. But it was a ton of fun playing with you all. It really was.
All right. Thank you, David. Mariana, your closing statements.
All right. First, I just want to talk about the importance of my charity really quick. So I'm playing for the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. The reason why I chose this, so unfortunately when I was growing up, my family did rely on the food bank growing up. My mom and I actually used to volunteer at the food bank for numerous years. I used to volunteer when I was at work also. Unfortunately, my mom passed away with cancer so about 5 years ago. So I had to take that tradition on and carry the donation of continuing playing for the food bank. So I just want to, that's the only reason why this charity means a lot. I just want to get it out of the way. But back to the game, I felt like I had to make a lot of sacrifices to get here. So I kind of want to talk about like me sacrificing my Kelley people to get trust or show trust more with my Janet players. I had to get rid of Jess to better my relationship with Danielle and Bambi, and Olivia and Bambi actually. And then when I got rid of Phillip, I had to vote out David. I had to vote for David, not vote for him. But I had to risk my relationship with David to not say Phillip's name, and that probably could have backlashed at me at any time. And then the last person, I had to vote out Bambi because even though she was the last Kelley person left, like I really wanted as many Kelley people at the end. I had to vote her out to show my loyalty to David and Danielle. So I had to make sacrifices. Even though they were on Kelley, I could have kept them. And then even like at the end, like I know I felt good with this day zero alliance with Danielle and David. However, I also knew from Anthony at Serrated Peaks that David and Danielle and Mike, they all had their relationships. They could have all stuck together and won final 3 team Janet and left me out of it. So the fact that I was able to actually make such a big impact to make it here without them actually taking Mike, that actually should show some weight, because I could have just been gone. I literally could have been gone the last 3 times. But I'm so happy that I had Danielle. Like I don't discredit what Danielle did. She definitely helped me when I should have. She definitely did help me stay safe in this game. So I'm not going to discredit that from her. But I also felt like I did make my own pitches to people as well. It wasn't just Danielle talking. Yeah, she kind of gave me the information, like, okay, yeah, Danielle, Mariana, people are saying your name. Try to, figure it out. Yeah, so I'm not going to discredit Danielle on that at all. I'm trying to think. And then I kind of want to talk about, like, the 3 O's in, Survivor: outwit, outlast, outplay. I mean, I try not to do too much of outwitting with deception. I tried to be as open as I could. I know it sounds like I may have withheld information, but I literally told Neil about Danielle. I told Carl about him being gone. I told Olivia. So before Olivia actually went out, I actually told her about the first clue, which Danielle brought to me too. But like I told Olivia how to find the first clue. And that should show that I want to work with Olivia, because it seemed like the compass was still not found. So I tried to give Olivia that like extra push to help Danielle and I find the compass. I don't think we ever found it. And then let's see what else I have. Yeah, and then back to I kind of mentioned the whole Haley vote again. I think I'm not going to say too much about it. Like I said, I was able to hide me having a compass for 5 rounds. Obviously, people were thinking that I had it from the first round, but for me to actually not receive any votes, like I think overall in this whole game, I think I only received like 3 votes in this game when I could have easily gotten like 12 votes or however many more. But yeah, I generally tried my best to get to this final three myself. Obviously, I didn't do so hot in the last individual exemption challenges. However, I felt like I was able to kind of work my social game, and I kind of even played. I had to downplay my game, even though I knew I was better than that. It sucks that I had to do that, but I didn't want to come off too strong as like Phillip or David either. But yeah, and then honestly, like even like with Bambi, like I really wanted to take Bambi all the way, but then once I found out she was working with like David and Mike, I was actually kind of hurt that Bambi may have not wanted to work with me moving forward, but I had the truest intentions to taking Bambi to the end as well, as far as I could have. So I had to really make a lot of sacrifices in this game to get to where I was, and I tried to be as honest as possible. Like I feel like I was giving away too much information, to be honest, in the base camp. I'm like, oh yeah, I think this is what's being said. Sorry if I'm just like rambling. I just kind of got thrown off. Oh yeah, I was going with my outlast and outplay. Oh yes, I was able to outlast. I'm the last Kelley person here. Like I feel like that should show some sort of recognition, and me not able to. Okay, sorry.
You can just wrap it up.
No, honestly, I feel like I've said enough. Yeah, I'm happy that I got to where I am. I did have Danielle and David in my pocket for sure, but I definitely think I had to use some of my own play to get to where I am to right now.
All right. Thank you very much to our final three. That's it for the talking. Now it's time to hand it over to the jury. The jury is going to vote for the player that they want to win this season. All right, so with that, let's go vote. All right, we have received all of the votes. And will you look at the time? It's past lights out, so I guess we will just read these votes at another time. All right, Shane, get me those votes somehow, huh?
Alright, I have all 8 of the jury votes. I'm here in Glacier Bay trying to get these votes back. Let's hope I can get these back and get some help to get them to the live vote reveal. But I think next time we definitely need to go somewhere warmer. Glacier Bay is a little too cold for our team.
Hey, I'm Janet from Island of the Idols. Hey, give me the votes. Here you go.
Hey guys, so I just got my plane ticket priority first because we have to get these votes out for as soon as we can. So I'm here at the airport. So let's hope that my flight doesn't get delayed and I get them there on time.
Greetings, explorers! I've got to get these votes all the way to the Expedition Online Glacier Bay finale. Let's go. Let's go.
So this is what Jess Herbeck sent me in the mail. They're in there, but I'm not gonna be your challenge guinea pig, so the next person can deal with defrosting this. So we're gonna put them in here for safekeeping. These are good ice packs, right? And we are gonna send these across the country. Okay, taxi. Need you to bring this to Kelley Wentworth in Seattle ASAP. And if it melts, figure it out.
Okay, we've got to talk. It's been a bit of a rough road so far.
I've got to try to catch it to secure the votes. See how it goes. Oh, got it! All right, let's send it off to Sam in Minnesota.
1, 2, 3. Awesome. Those are some crazy results. Hey, I'm going to call Docs really quick and let him know what happened with these votes.
Hey, what's up, fool?
Hey, tell me, are you in love with me?
Yeah, I am.
I knew it. You should receive some mail.
Oh, I did? Is it the letter I've been waiting for?
Yep, the votes are in.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know.
That means I should head to the finale now.
Well, yeah.
Good catching up. I appreciate you reaching out. Thanks. I'm gonna head to the finale now.
No, well, I was also wondering how you were Okay.
Live with the final three. Unless you're watching on a playback, in which case we're not live for you. But we are live here. We're back. The votes are in, and we're about to crown the Season 3 Expedition Online champion. But first, let's talk about the charities. You all have raised over $4,300 for the charity pot, which is amazing. Thank you to the players. Thank you to everyone who donated. Thank you to our captains, and thank you to the Expedition Online team
I could,
behind
and
the scenes.
I was trying to play.
That made this game what it is. All right, so amazing. We have over $4,300 in the charity pot. This is going to be divided 3 different ways. 35% to our winning captain's charity, 35% to our Season 3 winners charity, and 30% to our other captain's charity. This season, Captain Kelley was playing for Reversed Rescue, and Captain Janet was playing for Give Kids the World. Our final 3 were also playing for their charities. David was playing for Tenderfoot Learning Lab, Danielle for Give Kids the World, and Mariana for the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. And our explorer that raised the most money for the charity will receive a special EO merchandise pack, and we have a tie. Team Katie and Team Bill have raised the most money, so you both win, and you will both receive the EO merch pack. Thank you very much. All right, so thank you, everyone. Let's turn our attention to the final 3 here. We have Danielle, David, and Mariana. Danielle, how are you feeling?
Honestly, I'm super anxious right now. My heart's racing.
All right, David, yourself, how are you feeling?
You know, it was rough watching that back again, but it's good to all be together again.
I mean, you're not wrong there. That was kind of rough, and I was watching it the whole time. I was thinking, how can the host not like jump in here? This is tough. But then I remembered something, and I said, let's just move on. Mariana, how are you feeling?
Hey, I'm excited, nervous also, but it feels good to see everyone again. So yeah, let's do this.
Are all 3 of you, any of you, confident that you're going to win tonight? Anybody want to go on the record before I read the votes and say you are definitely winning?
I know I'm definitely losing.
I think it could be anyone's game. I don't know. It's gonna be really close.
All right.
That jury's bitter.
The jury left a lot of questions, so let's see what the jury thought. We have 8 votes, eight members of the jury, and I have the votes right here. So let's just get right to it. I will read. Our first vote is for Danielle. Our second vote is for David. Our third vote is for Mariana. We have 1-1-1. Our fourth vote is for Mariana. Our 5th vote is for Mariana. Our 6th vote and winner of Expedition Season 3 is Mariana. Mariana, you had 6 votes. Congratulations.
Congrats, Mariana.
How does it feel?
I'm honestly so shocked right now, guys. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I was not expecting that, guys. Thank you. It's been so long, and it means the world, seriously, like for my charity. I mean, I'm so happy just to win this for the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. They've been a organization, seriously, since I was born. So it means the world that I was able to win that for Cleveland, for the Cleveland Food Bank. Yeah, I'm just overwhelmed right now, guys, to be honest.
Well, congratulations, Mariana. You won for Team Mariana. You also won for Team Kelley. Kelley and Janet, our captains, are here. Thank you very much for being a part of Season 3 Expedition Online. Kelley, congratulations for the win. Your team will get, or your charity will get 35% of the pot, and Janet, your charity will get 30% of the pot. So congratulations to all three of your charities. Janet, Kelley, can I put you on the spot? What'd you think of this season?
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. First of all, Mariana, good job!
Thank you so much.
You were literally outnumbered for so long, babe, but you did so good. I'm so proud of you. Good job. That's why you never know. You just have to keep moving forward. Good job. And also to everybody else, it was really fun to watch. I don't know if you know this, but I was actually sent the videos as it was happening, and so I watched them, so I knew what was going on. So it was really, really fun. I think everyone did a really good job, and the jury was very, very fun. I hope you guys, that were in the final 3 didn't take anything too personally. Being on a jury myself, it's kind of that last time to get in your final words because you just want to be able to really express yourself. So proud of everybody, and thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Janet, welcome, Janet.
It's all you.
Janet, can you hear us? All right, let's bring the rest of the cast in. I'm not sure if Janet can hear us. We have the rest of the cast here, and we are going to have a bit of a reunion. So come on in. Everybody, congratulate Mariana, the winner of your Season 3 Expedition Online.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone, seriously, for voting. Thank you so much. Oh, man. And it's funny because in the beginning, when we were watching the first episode with like the nominations or whatever, didn't Doc say statistically I was bound to win the game?
At the beginning, are you saying at the beginning?
Yeah, with because I first came in 7th place in my first game, then 5th.
Oh, the math. That's right. I forgot about that. Because I didn't know you won until tonight as well. All right, so the winner pick. I'm pretty good at this then. In a way, we both won. All right, well, congratulations, Mariana. We've got members of the cast back here. We're gonna go through, talk a bit about the season. Kelley, Janet, feel free to jump in whenever you want if you've got questions. But I think we should go way back. Welcome, Bill. We'll start with Bill. Bill, it was great having you back this season. For those of you that don't know, Bill actually participated in a mini, and then he was asked to come back and play for the full game. Bill, can you tell us what the difference in pace or between a mini, an expedition mini, and an expedition full season?
I don't know about how much I can tell you about that since I was there for such a short time. But Mariana, first, props for bringing it home for Team Kelley. I just don't know how that happened. It is a bit of a different pace. It just becomes more of a marathon than a sprint. And so it's kind of like having a mini every night for a month. So it was great fun, though. I had a great time. Great to meet you all. It was tragic how swap screwed Team Kelley was. And Mariana, wow, you pulled it out.
Well, Bill, let's. Sorry, go ahead. Bill, let's talk about the swap screw. You said like basically you and Bridget ended up. It looked like 3-2 in the numbers on the swap. I don't really want to go into the Destiny's token because you very famously hate them, and there's this isn't a forum to diss the Destiny's token, but having watched it back and seeing the game, do you feel like there could have been a different approach? Do you think you had a chance even though you were down on the numbers?
I thought I did until the very end. And I had this small inkling of hope that I'd managed to get David to flip, because Haley and Katie locked themselves in a room and just wouldn't talk to me for the whole round. I thought I did. It turns out he did flip, but for far different reasons than I thought. So, I mean, it was close. It was close. And I think at the very beginning of it, we got swap screwed not only on our tribe, but one of the other 3 tribes. And then the one tribe where Team Kelley did have an advantage, we kind of lost that through other means.
All right, we're going to talk about that too. I bet Phillip can't wait.
Wait, because I still don't understand.
Okay, so let's talk about it now. Like, I guess you're talking about the decision to send Mariana to the peak, right?
Yes, correct.
So in the very next vote, so Bill went out one night, and the very next vote, we had 2 parties go to Crossroads, and Phillip was the overall leader in the challenge, so he got to pick somebody to go. And you took Mariana out. It was at least 2-2 in that situation, right? And Bridget was down 3-1 on her side. So everybody wants to know, Phillip, what was that decision about?
So honestly, it was I don't think I realized it was like my sole decision at that point, because I just got swapped onto a new team. And so at that point, I initially thought like, okay, who am I going to try to protect? And in that case, I thought my top 2 people were Mariana and Cupini. And I was like, I want to try to protect one of them. And so I just thought like, send him to the island, more information is better, get protection. And so in my mind, as I was starting to think about it, I hear Joshua go, Mariana's got all that stuff on. And then people are kind of like, yeah, Mariana's got that stuff on. In the back of my head, she was like one of the options I was thinking of. And then when the new swap that you're on suggests somebody in the heat of the moment that you were kind of in the back of your head, so you didn't have time to flesh it out, I was kind of like, that makes sense. Throw Mariana there. I'll make the people who I'm going back to, who I don't know who I'm going to be against the numbers on, happy. And then we'll go from there. So I guess that was a long way to say that, like, I kind of panicked. I mean, I don't think there's anything else to say there, you know?
I mean, like, have you thought about it in retrospect or watching it back? I mean, that was kind of a pivotal moment in the game, at least for your original party and yourself, probably.
Yeah, and I didn't, at the time when I made it, I was like, man, I think I made a mistake, but you don't kind of realize the gravity of it. And I think what I really took to heart is I didn't think that the original tribes were going to have that much cohesion through the end, because we had been on the swap tribes longer than we were with the original ones. And so I thought like, hey, we're forming these new relationships. I'm talking with these people way more than the original tribe that I talked to. I'm going to bank on the new relationships and the more time than I have than the ones that were formed when you really didn't know who people are. So I didn't think people were going to like kind of stick their foot in the ground and be like, we're going to hold those original lines. And I think that's the part of the game that I underestimated most.
That's fair, and that's a good point. I mean, that is something that we'd like to see in the games is as we mix it up, then the games get mixed up and there's blurred party lines. So that's fair, and so I guess I have to thank you for at least trying to make that happen.
Yeah,
Neil.
but I just blame Janet though. That's it. I blame Janet. She threw me under the bus day one. So
I want to talk to you and Neil about this. So you guys, I don't know if you guys have access to my notes. This is uncanny. But I will also say Janet did message, and she said that she's having tech issues, but she wanted to let the cast know that she's very proud of this season, very proud of you all, and sorry she can't be here. But she couldn't hear, she couldn't get the volume working. So message from Janet. But you are correct. Janet did throw Phillip and Neil under the bus, and we just heard from Phillip, so we'll start with Neil. You were also the first person voted out of the game that didn't get a lifeline back in, so I apologize for that on behalf of everybody. But did you realize that you were identified as a threat by Janet early on, or was this something that you saw on the playback?
I had no idea about it, and the first time I heard about it was when the show was all done, and we all got into a room together, and everyone's like, "Yeah, Janet threw you under the bus right away." First thing she said was, "Watch out for Phillip and Neil."
The rest of the cast did a good job of acting on that, but not showing their cards. So kudos to everybody else. Do you think if you had got wind of that, Neil, would you have been able to recover? Would you have been able to do something different about your game or with your game?
I probably would have played my cards a little differently, knowing that no people viewed me as such a threat, because the vote that I went strong on trying to get Danielle out because I knew she was such a huge threat in the game, and if I had known that I was a huge target, I would not have tried to take the control on that.
And Phillip, you brought it up, so just real quick, can you talk about also being identified as a threat right from the get-go?
Well, it's kind of tough because I had no idea that I had been identified as a threat. So I didn't find out until after I was out of the game. So I think I would have approached the original party lines much differently if I had known the entire rest of the party line was told to not trust me. And then I come in like being like optimistic, being like, we're gonna, like, I'll get to know you guys. And they're like, oh, we don't trust this guy for a second. And then so I don't think it would have, it would have just changed, I think, my initial approach. I think I would have still tried to have been just authentic in who I was, but I think it probably came across as pretty disingenuous if they had been told to not trust me, and I'm trying to come across as a trusting guy. So I don't know. I just think it would have changed the way that I would have approached them initially, but if it was in their brain, it probably would have been in their brain almost no matter what.
All right, and another player who had a very unorthodox journey, Jess. You spent the most time at the lake. You greeted everybody as they were voted out. And then you got your second chance in the game. Can you talk about how you had to adapt when you came back and what that second chance meant?
I felt that second chance was pretty wasted because I was no sooner voted out, back in, and then voted right back out. I can't say I blame them for that, though, because I really was the odd man coming into solid alliances that had already been formed for weeks at that point.
And can you talk to us about the dynamic back at the lake? You greeted as people grew, that secluded party. It grew and grew and grew. How did you use that time, kind of the game inside the game?
I used it at that time to gain all the little bit of information I could, and I kept a whiteboard and notebooks with page after page of notes. So as everybody went into Serrated Peak, I just got tons of information. I knew who was working with who. I knew who wasn't getting along. So me getting back into the game, I felt fortunate because at that point I had a half compass and I was armed with information, but unfortunately I just didn't have enough time to make a good solid go of it. I was I was the first one voted out, but coming back into it, there's already too many relationships that had already been formed day zero, day one, and throughout the time that I was gone.
Yeah, I mean, from my side, I feel like if you could have gotten through that initial stage, I mean, you immediately went right back to Crossroads. If you could have skated into into the rendezvous, maybe things would have been different if you had like an opportunity. So that was tough for you. Janet, welcome back. I don't know if you can hear us or Sounds like maybe not. All right, so we'll go to the jury phase of the game, and cannot hear you. I can see you're talking, but can't hear you. Haley, welcome tonight, Haley. Haley, the interesting thing on your vote out, you basically got blindsided in this game. Can you tell our viewers what it feels like to get blindsided and how you kind of process that afterwards as well?
Oh, it was incredibly shocking. It was a lot to take in, but I knew as soon as I heard my name up first that it was about to be me, even though I didn't see it coming. But afterwards, I was just going through every possible scenario that could have happened. So, like, I'm sitting there thinking, what if David backstabbed me and he led the charge? Don't worry, we're good. But going through everything for that, like, 24 hours until I was back for the next night and got to hear the actual story. But my head was spinning.
And how do you process it? Like, how long does it take to? Are you still thinking about it? Was it a quick recovery?
Oh, I think it took probably a little bit after the game was over, but you know, it's fun. It's fun to look back on, and it was a cool way to go out.
Can you guys hear me right now?
Yes.
Thank God. First of all, I want to say congrats, Kelley, on everything. I've been trying to do this. And I want to say congratulations to everybody that played the game. I mean, you guys really are really impressive, all of you. I will say this, it was a little intense and tribal as far as personal. It was more than even what I ever experienced. Remember, it's a game and you're all in this for good reasons, and you know, just come out of this knowing that there's good to come out of it. Not like some of the other stuff. But Kelley, congratulations.
And thanks, Janet. I think it'd be fair to also say, you know, what we just watched happen months ago, and this cast has done a great job of reaching out to each other. They've had private one-on-ones, they've had conversations, and yes, we joke about that was a really tense final ascent, but the cast has worked things out, and I hope on pretty good terms now. So if not, let me know afterwards. Not right now. Anthony, turn your camera on. Come join us.
Can you see me?
No, you got to turn your camera on.
Dang, hold up.
Anthony is here. Anthony, all right, now we got you. Anthony, the fan favorite.
Let's go.
Anthony, it was so fun watching you this season. Your audition video was so good, and then you topped it with each one of your confessionals. You had an early exit. What do you think happened? I have a theory, but I want to know what you think happened.
So, I thought that this would be light work. I thought going into this game, I thought I was about to finesse. I thought since I looked young, that I could get away with everything, that I could just badmouth people and they wouldn't suspect a thing. But I was wrong. And yeah, and I messed with the king, and now I'm the peasant. So yeah.
Do you feel like you played a little too aggressive too soon?
Yeah, because the thing is, like, when you play a game like this, and I said this in my confession, I'll just briefly say it. Like, I want to play. Like, I didn't come here to like, yes, it's good to meet people, but like, I also want to play. Like, I also want to like backstab. Like, let's snatch wigs. Like, let's actually like get the ball rolling. So when people were just talking about their lives, I was just like, bruh, can we just like, let's talk about who we're gonna backstab next. So, but I think I played a little bit too hard at first, but yeah. So
is it possible for you to hold back?
Look, no, probably not. But look, hey, this is not the last you'll see of me. I'm coming back. I'm telling you right now, and I'm taking this. Mariana, congratulations, but I'm also gonna take that crown, baby girl. All right, so I'm coming back. So yeah.
Wow, She didn't have that crown very long.
No, no, no.
I know.
Congratulations,
I
Mariana.
did. 6 seconds.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you.
So you and Carl did have a clash very early on, which was much to our enjoyment as the viewers. Carl, you did come into this game with a reputation because you know people in the community. You've played these games before. How did you manage that reputation? And then did the way you wanted to play change because of Anthony?
I to be honest, I came into this game trying because I have such a reputation. I played a few of these games that I tried something different. You know what I mean? And we had a little talk. I won a raffle, and I may have listened a little bit. I mean, it got me to 8th place, so I guess I can't complain. But but hearing this now, Anthony, man, that's how I wanted to play, dude. Like, that's how I play. I wish you wouldn't have came at me. Me and you could have done some snaky stuff. But it could have been fun. But you can't, you're right. You came for the king and you became the peasant. Oh yeah.
Carl.
Hey, I just want to say to everybody, don't really like that was kind of rough, and I was a little bit bitter. I feel like, me personally, and no disrespect, David. I respect your game, man. I was just in the heat of the moment, man. No disrespect at all, and to anybody. Like, y'all played amazing games, and sometimes the emotions get run high. But I love y'all, like, and it was an honor to play with every one of you. And well declared,
Carl.
Mariana. Yes, Janet.
Can I get a crown?
Yes, 100%.
And what I'd like to do is I'd like to sign. I'd like 2 crowns. I'd like one for me. I'll sign one, send it back to you. But I'd like to sign one and auction it off for Give Kids the World.
Totally. You got
All
it.
right, cool.
You just gotta message me privately, and we could so I know where
Shane
to send
and all those guys have my address, or I can give it to you. But I'll give you my address privately.
Yes.
But I would like to do that. Yeah.
Yes, you got 2 crowns coming your way.
All right.
Wow. All right.
got it.
Ask and you shall receive. We were joking about that too, and before when we were sitting in the waiting room, it was like, I hope Janet doesn't post her because Carl says, "What's your address?" It was like I hope she doesn't post this in the YouTube chat. Olivia, let's talk about watching the game on the playback. I know you were always in the chat this year. What's it like watching your game and seeing the things that you didn't see? And tell us about what it's like to play the game and then watch it back after the fact.
Some of it was embarrassing. Like, honestly, I was especially cringing at the episode where I won because I feel the episode where I won exemption, because I just felt like I was so cocky and was acting like I was running the whole game, and then of course I got voted out the next episode. Like, I just feel like that part was especially embarrassing. But I had a really fun time watching the episodes every week, and there were, like, sometimes I feel like I didn't have a very good read on the game with, like, my confessionals and what I was thinking, but I feel like that's probably true for everybody at different times.
Was there anything that you saw that other people's games maybe that like stood out and you're like, oh, if I had known that, or was things revealed, or do you feel like you kind of knew what was going on?
The only thing that was, like, shocking to me, which I heard after I got voted out, like, that night in the jury chat, but the whole thing with the token and David playing his token, that was like the most shocking thing for me to find out after, because it was stressing me out so much and I had no idea what was going on.
All right, thanks, Olivia. Janet, I don't know if you were on earlier when we talked about the charities, but congratulations to your charity. You won 30% of the pot. The pot was over, I think, $4,200. I have it written down. Yeah, here, $4,300. Do you want to speak about Give Kids the World before you take off?
Yes. I always want to talk about Give Kids the World. they are an amazing organization, like many of our charities, and we all love our charities, but they really reach out to a lot of kids and their families, and a lot of these families are given a wonderful week of just blessings, and they come back and revisit even after their children have passed on, and give back to Give Kids the World and to other families. And I'm going over the edge on the 17th of February, where I have to rappel 32 stories off of the Hyatt Regency in Orlando for Give Kids the World. And it's trust me, that repelling is harder than anything I've ever done. Any Survivor, tribal, anything. I'm like, oh my God. And if these little kids can be so brave, I had to be brave. So I'm doing it again, and people donated to that. And just, I can't say enough about the wonderful organization that they have.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And Kelley, you played for Reverse Rescue. Would you like to talk about your charity?
Yeah, absolutely. You can still hear me, right?
Yes.
I never know if I'm delayed or what. Okay. I didn't want to be talking, and everyone's like, "Yeah, we can't hear you, Kelley." Yeah. So, the charity that I played for is Reverse Rescue, and I just love animals. I have been a huge animal lover my whole life. You guys have probably heard this story that I mentioned the very first episode we did when we did the draft. But I wanted to be a veterinarian growing up. I think my dream would be to have a farm just with rescued animals of all types. But this particular rescue just takes in animals that are elderly, animals that have been abused, neglected, takes them in and gets them to a place where they can be adopted out to loving families. And so this is just one rescue that is close to my heart. There are also a couple of others, but for this particular game, I wanted to support them because they are a smaller organization and everything helps. So thank you to everybody for donating. And I know everyone's charities are fantastic and everyone has things they're passionate about. So I love that about what you guys do. I think it's super awesome. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
All right. Well, thank you very much to our team captains, Janet and Kelley. Cass, why don't you give your captains a round of applause? Say thank you. I don't know if you all have somewhere else to go. If you have to go, you're welcome to stick around. But if you have somewhere to go, just wanted to say before you took off, thank you so much for being a part of Season 3 Expedition Online. We really appreciate you all, and we hope we did your charities proud.
You guys have my support through and through. And if you need me in the future, I'll be here for you.
Thanks, Janet. All right, let's get back to this cast here. Josh, I want to talk to you about the way you played the game this season. I felt like you embraced the chaos, and you also even embraced maybe even the villain role at times. How is that? Where'd you go? Oh, sorry, everything just moved. There you are. Talk to me about embracing the chaos, embracing the villain role, and then talk to me about watching it back as well.
I was a villain. No, I think. I mean, if you get the perspective from Phillip, you'll hear that I've apologized at least once a week since this has ended. I like playing up a character when I play the game. I like being the villain. I like having fun, and I think that's part of why I think you guys casted me is because I promised I'm gonna be fun. I'm gonna do this and that. And in the moment, it's very fun. But going back, especially having been eliminated and having that sit down with Phillip, realizing I was kind of a jerk. I was a jerk to Danielle. I was a jerk to David at Final Tribal Council. It's very. It hurts me because outside of Survivor, outside of this fantasy world we all play, I like to say I'm a nice guy. I like to say I'm pretty kind spirited and I want the best for people. And I do get carried away in the game. So yes, it was very embarrassing for me to see the way people reacted. But I think in my mind, it did exactly what I wanted it to do in the game. So I can't really complain. And I've had my conversations with the people I felt like I owed an apology to. And that's all I can say.
And if you feel like Joshua hasn't apologized to you, please reach out to him afterwards. Just kidding. Joshua, what was the goal like when you play? Do you play to have fun? Do you play to win, or do you think it's both?
A lot of the time I play to win. And a lot of what I do pull up the entertainment. I do put up the stocks of fun and whatnot. But I do it in a calculated way. So the whole blow up with Phillip, yeah, it made me look like a dick, and it made me look like a big villain for the season or whatever. But it did exactly what I wanted to do, and people were gonna think this guy's horrible at jury management. We can keep him around for a few more rounds. Like I like to think when it came down to Carl and I, obviously a duo, we were targeting duos at that point. Carl was loved by everyone other than he just talked a lot. And I was kind of an asshole for voting out Phillip, just all kinds of different stuff. So I'd like to say that played a hand in it. And yes, calculated, but yes, I do like having fun.
All right. Well, thank you, Joshua. I would like to say Katie is having technical difficulties. She is trying to be here, and she just wants to say hello to everybody, and maybe she'll join us if she can resolve these technical issues. Let's go to the person we call Bambi. You actually, I don't know if this is canon, because I think this was on your this was on the show, but Bambi's not your real name, and you actually said your name once, and it threw me for a loop.
Yeah, I wanted to go by a fake name because I know Mod Carl, who was on previous season, and I just didn't want to be associated with him because
Well, I
honestly I
understand
hadn't
that, yeah.
yeah, I mean I hadn't seen any Survivor, so like any connection for like to him or to the previous seasons was going to be a disadvantage for me, so I created this fake name.
So I'm glad you brought it up again. Reading my mind, every week you said you felt like you were going home.
Yeah.
Was that gameplay or was that real paranoia?
Oh no, that's 100% real paranoia. Like I always thought that my name was up on the chopping block because every week I would hear it, like at least in the beginning, like towards the end of like each day. I started to think like, oh, now like people aren't saying my name, but there's always something in the back of your mind that's saying, nah, they're just playing you.
Oh, and this was your first game experience. Can you talk to us about how Expedition Online differed from your expectations?
I didn't really have any expectations because prior I only had seen like one season of Survivor, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And I just remember on day 1, I was like, I think it's okay if I go home immediately. Like I don't know if I'm cut out for this game. So yeah, I just really had zero expectations. I was trying to play as the days went by.
Did that sorry. Did that expectation change as you lasted each game? Did the nerves build up, or did you have that throughout? That if I go tomorrow, that's fine.
No, so at one point I like started to get really invested in the game, and so I was like, nah, I want to at least like make it to the jury. And then once I made it to the jury, I was like, okay, I want to at least make it to like final, 6 or 5 or whatever.
So just you had incremental goals.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, are you hooked now? Have you watched every single season of Survivor?
No, but I have seen Kelley's season, so I understand why she's greatest of all time.
There you go.
Girl, you stop it now. You stop it.
Congratulations, Kelley.
Wait, do I need to send
I
you a
know.
cloud too?
Wow.
Kelly
Hey,
Wentworth doesn't count. Kelly Wentworth doesn't count.
yeah. Sometimes it does. Hey, I'm gonna log off, but thank you so much, everybody, again for having me, and it was so fun. Mariana, my girl. Good job, babe. See you
Thanks,
guys
Kelley.
later.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you, Kelly. Thank you so
See you,
much.
Kelley.
Take care.
All right. Now we can talk bad about our captains if you want. Just kidding. Mike, you played a great game.
Nah, it was all right.
All right, you played an all right game in your own words. And I feel like watching it back, especially in your confessionals, you had really great instincts. You didn't always jump on those instincts, and I don't mean that as an insult, but I think it would be insightful for our viewers to kind of talk about what roadblocks a player might have when they have these instincts but they don't act on them.
Danielle is the roadblock. No, like Danielle played a great game, and so like she says it a couple times in her confessionals too. We're both playing very similar games, but kind of at different angles. And so whenever I approached her with something that I wanted to do, she would put that roadblock up. And so it's really just making sure that you are reading the right people at the right time. Danielle, I just always trusted, and I don't know why I did, because there were opportunities for me to really get her out. And that instinct was to get her out, and I never did. So yeah, I mean, like, you know, when you talk through the game in those confessionals, you really are kind of like playing out like all different pieces to it. And I have to apologize. My confessionals were long, and I'm so sorry, guys. Haley's like, yeah, so like it really just you sit there and you think about like what players are going to be the most beneficial to your game. And Danielle just, I think she put herself in positions where, you know, you couldn't do anything without her. And that was my roadblock, is I couldn't figure out how to make a move without like destroying something with Danielle.
What advice would you have for future players about acting on your instincts?
Do it. Don't second guess yourself. I think there were so many opportunities for me to make a move earlier in the game that would have set myself up in better situations. I think I was set up in a really great situation at Final Five from my perspective. And you know, I give David credit to that. And so it's playing to the instincts, knowing that, like, trusting yourself in the game. And so having that idol, having that half idol with Josh at 6 is gonna haunt me, because I knew I needed to play it. I knew I needed to make a big move right there. And if I had done it, this whole game would have changed.
All right. Well, and you did talk about Danielle. So Danielle, I have to say, during the game, I felt like you were coming into Crossroads out, like, on the outside, and you did a really good job of downplaying how much influence you had in the game. But do you think that maybe that also hurt you at the finale? This perception that you didn't really have control or didn't really know what was going on.
No, these guys had blinders on. They thought they were all so freaking great, and that they thought they played the best game, and straight up had blinders on. And frankly, I think Mariana played a good game, but not as good as me or David. And I think me or David should have won. And that's just the facts. I love you, Mariana. You're my girl, but I pulled you through this entire game. I don't care what anyone says. So this win is great only because I plan to take you to the end, and I love you, and you're my girl. But I played a badass game, and I don't care what the haters say.
All right. So I have to retract my statement earlier that we've worked through everything in this off season. I feel like we might have one more thing to work through here, which is fine. Danielle, can you talk to me about managing perception though in the game? Like, you have to avoid being a big threat, otherwise they'll take you out. But then you have to have a resume at the final ascent. So how do you navigate that in the game?
Yeah, you got to be really careful. I messed up a few times, and I knew I messed up, but luckily people didn't catch on. If you build the relationship enough to where they trust you, if you do make a mistake, you can usually cover it up if you've got all your angles crossed. And I really, I did well actually, because I obviously made it to the end. But yeah, no, it's not easy to navigate, especially when people will talk and tell other people things. I just got lucky that the right people didn't tell the right people, or if they did, I caught it and I twisted it in my own benefit. So
yeah, it's quite interesting.
All right. Well, thank you, Danielle. Your humbleness is an amazing. It's truly amazing. Sorry, I don't know how I was going to finish that sentence. I was trying to tell a joke. Sometimes they don't land. David, she also said that you played a great game. I think you did play a great game. From an observer, I think it's obvious to everybody because it's just the story, the subplot that won't go away. But your ultimate downfall was your relationship with Katie. I will set the record straight on the timeline. And well, you can chime in here, but you did have a plan to take the compass. After you took the compass, you, Haley, and Katie had a nice conversation, a nice heart to heart. And at that point, you realized this is my trio. And you were closely aligned with Katie, and you wanted to carry her and protect her in the game. And that was a genuine bond. And this was the timeline. We saw it. We have messages and confessionals. So the thing that undid you was that in the moment where you felt like you were most secure with Katie, she was insecure about the relationship. So can you talk to us about like that moment, that relationship where I mean you really weren't giving her the attention that she was looking for, but it was because you felt so secure with her.
Yeah, I did have a blind spot with her. When my name was getting thrown out, you want to talk to the people you don't trust and not the people you do, typically. I didn't realize her trust in me was so waning, but like my relationship with her was really genuine after she gave me the compass. And I admit, like, I wanted to make this villainous move and like, ooh, can I convince someone to get a compass? But the conversation she had with me, giving it to me, and also conversation she had with me afterwards really bonded me to her. I just respected her so much and her life story. And I talk about in my confessionals, like all of a sudden I'm playing with my heart, and I didn't want to play with my heart. I wanted to play with my head. And she was kind of a blind spot to me, and I intended her to be my ride or die. She told me she was okay playing my game, and she told me that she was okay going to the end and not even winning. And it's like, oh, this is music in my ears. This is a perfect ally, someone that will trust me and work with me. But yeah, there's just a lot of misperception. And I don't agree with her version of our story. Um, you know, according like she never asked me for the compass back, and I offered, and I was so genuinely trying to find a way to uh, play this compass for myself and retain this relationship with Katie. And I was trying to thread this line, and I clearly did something she didn't want me to do, even though, at Crossroads, she gave me the blessing. She said, do what you need to do. I even offered it back to her. She told me later that she thought I was trying to trick her, but like at that point, like if she says yes, I'm just the one sitting there being like, psych, I'm not going to give it to you. But I was absolutely willing to give it to her. But I think having her as a ride or die was a strategic mistake. She plays pretty erratically.
Well, I
And
mean, so one thing, and perhaps in her defense, is she came into this game, and one of the things I wanted to talk to her about, she didn't know what she was signing up for.
right, she
Like at
thought
least
this was a dating show initially.
sure, and Bambi has never played these games before. Was not a fan of Survivor, but she was briefed on what she was getting into and had an idea. And Katie really was learning the game as she went along, and she didn't understand like some of the things that happen in the game is how the game is played, and so that's also a tough relationship to have in the game, and like I said, from my view, she needed you to reassure her at that time, but you
Right.
from the game perspective thought, I don't need to reassure her because we're at our best right now, and that's where everything unraveled. And once it unraveled, it continued to haunt your game because every single person that went to the jury heard Katie's version of the story.
I agree. Yeah, I think Katie had a version of the story that is, in my opinion, not what happened. I think she put a lot of she felt like she knew my intent. She feel like I was trying to. She knew what I was trying to do.
Okay,
She
so-
felt like I was, yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I don't really want to bash on Katie. I don't want to
No,
look at it this
absolutely
way.
not at all. Not at
Right.
all. I have a lot of love for Katie, and it really saddens me that, like, even to this day, like, our relationship is a bit fractured because of this.
Yeah. Katie's great. Katie is so fun. She's so entertaining.
Absolutely.
Like, she took Crossroads off the rails so many times. I was dying laughing. I enjoyed watching the playbacks. Like, usually, like,
Absolutely.
during the Crossroads, and then watching the playbacks, it's like looking at everybody else's,
Right.
you know, the other faces. I remember, like, one Crossroads, like, it must have been the most fun Bridget ever had. You know, even though she was on the block,
I
like,
was
she was just
literally
on everything.
yeah.
Katie's great. So
I was literally laughing to tears with Katie, and I know she still doesn't believe this, but I trusted her so much, and you know, in a way, I trusted her longer than she trusted me. Like, she turned on me before I ever wanted her out of this game, and I never wanted her out of this game, and I know she doesn't believe that, and that's okay. But I do think it created a lot of misperception on the jury and kind of made me seem a bit slimier than maybe I think I played. I played a game that I'm still proud of watching it back. And I think I played a game that could have been a winning game to a different jury. But, you know, I didn't play to this jury, and I wasn't able to clear up misperceptions that I feel like existed. And, you know, because of that, I deserve to lose. And that's okay.
Can I say something to the three finalists? I think I played a few of these games, and like you deal with bitter juries, you deal with all types of juries. One of my goals is like, yes, to win a game, but just making the end, because you deal with. I mean, I'm gonna say for myself, asshole, like an asshole. Like I believe I acted like an asshole, like personally. And like, just to make the end in one of these games, it's like a win in itself. All three of you, nobody deserved it more than the other. It's just the way the cards fell. You all deserved it. You're all freaking winners. You made it to the end of this game, and be proud of that. And like, don't
Thank you,
hate on
Carl.
nobody for it. Just be proud of it. Like, y'all
Yeah.
did it. We couldn't. Y'all did.
Yeah, thank you, Carl. Carl's right. All three of you that made it to the final are winners. More accurately, Mariana is the winner. So let's talk to Mariana, the champion and the crown bearer of season 3. Mariana, congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thank you again.
Have you had time to process? We didn't go straight to you. Have you had time to process the win?
Yeah, no, a little bit. Definitely. I'm still mind blown. I honestly thought it was gonna be a lot more close, like maybe like a 4-3-2. You know, like I definitely was I don't know. I was thinking it was gonna be a lot more of a. I don't know.
I think if it was a 4-3-2, we would have had an extra vote in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we have to like question Shane.
But no, it's amazing. And yeah, no, thank you, Danielle. I'm sorry that I won. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I'm still mind blown, guys. This is my first win ever. I just tried to be the best self. I was genuine as I could have. I didn't try to, you know, like if I had a target, I knew, you know, like, Mike, I'm sorry, I loved you the entire game. I'm sorry. But like I was just trying to be as honest as I could. Didn't want to like make too many promises that I couldn't keep. And yeah, I had to just get rid of people when I had to, and even if that meant less people on the Kelley side. And yeah, but no, I'm thankful for all of you guys, and thank you for voting for me. And I'm still literally like I'm still processing it, guys.
No, I'm so proud of you. Water for the Cleveland Food Bank. It's a great organization.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
And
excited.
you did play the nicest game. You have such an amazing heart. Like, you are such a good person. Congratulations, girl.
Thank you.
All right. Well, congratulations, Mariana. Great job. Everybody, this was a really fun season. It's a great cast. Really enjoyed meeting those of you that I met for the first time and really watching you all play. This was so much fun. It has been a very fun season. I want to thank this cast. I want to thank our team captains, and I want to thank the many faces behind the scenes. We have so many people on staff here that it goes way back all the way through, and then after you're all done, all the work that's put in to put this out on YouTube. So thank you very much to all of our mods, the board, everybody on the editing team, the recorders, the commentators, everybody who goes into this. Thank you very, very much. It's not
Seriously,
over.
an amazing crew. It's such an amazing crew. We love you guys.
All right, it is not over. Stick around in a couple of minutes. We are going to go to Jess and Jonathan and go live with the charity raffle for this season. On behalf of everybody, thank you very much. Stick around, but I'm saying thank you very much. Don't think twice. It's all right. Oh, yeah, if we wave, then Jonathan will let us know when we're done.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yep. Sorry.
We're going live. Oh, we are live. My video didn't work the way I wanted it to. Oh god. Nothing like a little live issues here. Technical difficulties. We will be with you shortly.
That's what the booze helps with.
All right. Okay, so that was quite a reunion show. A little disappointing that we didn't get Katie on. We had some Discord issues. Apparently she didn't get the email. I don't know. You guys saw the chat. But Mariana, Team Wentworth, coming away with the victory. What a great season it was, wasn't it, Jess?
Yeah, I am proud to welcome Mariana to the winner's circle. I knew when we were down in Florida, Janet was talking some shit that she was going to do a twofer, 2 in a row. Didn't happen. But yeah, big congrats to Mariana and Team Kelley Wentworth, a rookie stepping in the ring, and she took down our reigning champ, Janet.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm always rooting for an underdog, so I was very happy to see Mariana pull that one out. And yeah, shout out to Team Janet. She always picks a good group that's strong, but unfortunately, this group wasn't able to stay together like we saw in season 2. So, but yeah, end of the season brings us to some people's favorite time, the all awaited for raffle. So, Jess, all kinds of items here we got for charity. Actually, first, before we even get to that, let's shout out the charities that we've already won money for here. That all the money from the raffle is going to. So, Team Wentworth taking home, what was it, 35%? Yes, yep, 35% of the prize pool, which ended up being, at least to this point, $1,551. So that will go to Reverse Rescue.
Yep.
And then we've got 35% going to the winner, Mariana's charity, which is Greater Cleveland Food Bank. And 30% going to Give Kids the World. So not bad for Team Janet there. So 3 great charities getting a big chunk of your money. So we want to thank everyone who donated and who's a part of this raffle. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right to it. So Jess, the first item I see here, so we've got 2 immunity necklaces to give away?
Yes, we do, and these are from Outcast Originals, which is our Season 3 cast member Josh Spitzer's Etsy shop. So there's 2 different varieties you can pick from, and the order of the raffle ticket will determine who gets first pick at which necklace. So
awesome.
The first... Oh, we got Danielle.
Ooh, Danielle, second place tonight, but first in the raffle, so that's something. Yeah. Going home with a little
A little
Smile,
something there, the
Danielle.
necklace.
All right, and the second winner of the necklace is Pierce Abaso.
Pierce Abaso taking home the immunity necklace. Hope that helps out in future games. I don't see how it could, though. They probably won't play, but you can always try. You can always try. All right. Oh, next we have the Micronesia effing stick. That is from a classic scene. Great season. One of my favorite Survivor seasons. I want to say 17, Micronesia.
I think 16.
16? Yeah, it might be 16.
It's like a top 2 season for sure.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
got one of those, and oh, that's good. Carl, you got an effing stick.
Carl with the C, so that's Carl Davino, I believe.
Oh, hail.
So, congratulations, Carl. You got an effing stick. I hope you enjoy that. What have we got next? We got some good items here for your Survivor fans, that's for sure. So next we've got the Survivor Ornament Set.
This is from Katie Tedesco Art on Instagram. She
Oh.
does a lot of cool stuff for Give Kids the World and different Survivor players.
Yeah, we're going to
And
try to throw all
ornament
this
set
stuff
is-
in the description as well. So
Yes,
people
good
can
idea.
check them out, yeah.
Mike G, you won some ornaments.
Hey, Mike G. That would be great. Fortunately, we couldn't get that to you in time for this Christmas, but next Christmas, you're going to be decked out, my friend. So,
Next.
now we have 7 hidden immunity idols. Now, are we giving them clues, or are we actually just giving them the idols here? How does this work?
Haha. We're just gonna give it to them.
Okay.
I don't have
Fair
the
enough.
capacity to make clues. Okay, so the idols, we have those donated by Josh's shop, Outcast Originals, 5 from him, and then 2 donated from Lisa at the Freak Like Me Etsy shop. We've got Heroes, Villains, Gabon, Cagayan, Micronesia, Karong, and Cambodia that the winners can pick from. So some good idols.
All right. So if the winners get to pick, then we'll do it in order. So first name gets to pick first, and then second, third, and so forth.
Yep.
All right. That's exciting.
So the first idol. Oh,
First.
Danielle, look at that. You got an idol and a necklace tonight.
Oh my goodness. Taking home all the prizes. Danielle played such a strong game, too. So hard to pick from that final 3. I thought David got a bum rap from the jury. There,
Yeah, no,
I
that
said
was
it.
a fantastic final 3.
But all 3 of them,
Um,
fantastic games. So Danielle and Hidden Immunity Idol.
Okay, Danielle's got 1. Oops, that's same. Can't have 2.
One
Next
per
one.
prize.
Oh, Mike, you're getting an immunity idol.
Mike G. Uh-oh. We have some...
Mike and Danielle cleaning up on the raffle.
Yeah. Lucky night.
Next idol is going to Jordan Armad from Kilimanjaro.
Ooh, Jordan picking up her idol. I wonder which one they're going to
Idol
pick.
number
You'll have to tell
4
us.
is going to Shane Byrne.
Hey, hey.
All-Star Production.
We call him the game runner. Because he runs around and does a
Idol
lot.
number 5 is going to Pierce Abaso.
Hey, another repeat.
Another repeat.
That's going to save us on shipping.
Idol number 6 is going to, already got picked. Idol number 6, oh, that person also already got picked.
Oh my goodness.
Idol number 6 is going to Sarah McKellar.
Sarah, congratulations.
And idol number 7 is going to King Carl.
King Carl picking up a second item. Go along nice with his effing stick. See, now he's got the fake idol and he's got the real idol, so
Hell yeah.
Carl,
Oh,
he's
I
set
just
up.
realized I screwed up the necklace. There were 2 necklaces up for grabs, so let's pull another necklace person.
Did we not pick 2? I thought you picked 2.
Necklace. Oh! David Jackson, you won an immunity necklace.
Ooh.
Congratulations.
There we go. Who won the other one then? Danielle.
Danielle.
Oh, she was the only one? Okay. That's on me. I should have. All right, where are we? Next item up for grabs. We have the Survivor puzzle. I imagine this is going to be a good one.
Yes.
I'm sure there's a lot
As
of names in
someone
this
who
one.
has one of the Survivor puzzles, they're awesome.
Okay, here we
10 out of
go.
10 would recommend, and this is from Outplay Puzzles. A lot of people entered this one. Okay, and the winner of the puzzle is Jess Herbeck.
Hey! The challenge coordinator himself. That's just going to give her more ideas, I'm sure. Congratulations, Jess. Now we got
All
EO
right, what do we have
merch
next?
pack.
EO merch pack. We have 2 of those.
So probably the most exciting item.
What?
Probably the most exciting item we have.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely more exciting than a Zoom call with Kelley Wentworth, right?
Okay, maybe not.
And the
but-
first winner of that is, KF. You won some merch.
Hey, KF. Gonna look good in the commentator booth next season.
Hell yeah. And the second person who will be looking fresh is gonna be Pierce. You won some
Pierce.
merch.
Here we go.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Pierce.
He's taking home a lot of prizes
Yeah,
today.
that's 3 for Pierce. That's exciting.
Yeah.
He's gonna look all decked out in his Survivor gear. And
All right,
Expedition
next
Online.
item.
Next one we have is the Ponderosa replica wooden sign.
That's a fun item. You can like hang that at your bar or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of places you can put that.
This is going to Bill McGrath.
Hey, Bill. I'm sure he'll find a fun place to put it. Make sure you send us a picture, Bill.
Tag us. Okay.
Bill's a favorite here at Expedition Online. He's played a bunch of minis with us. And he was in Which season was he in?
He did Trail of the Deserted.
Trail of the... No, he was in another one.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember all of them.
Kilimanjaro. I think it was in the beginning of Kilimanjaro. Because he went out so early, it was devastating.
I don't think he did
I'm
Kilimanjaro.
still upset about it.
He went out early this season.
No. Oh, it was this
We'll figure it
season.
out.
Oh my goodness. Jess, we can't edit now. They all just mashed together after like a month or two. Like that happened like 3 months ago now. We did see Bill
been a
today.
long-
I wasn't paying
It's
attention.
been a long day. Let's draw the next prize.
Next one is the Coast of Sunglasses. Ooh, Coast
This is a
of
good
Sunglasses.
This is like a $300 pair of sunglasses that you're just gonna get. That is going to David Jackson.
Yes, David.
David, you deserve it. Okay. All right. This leads us to, I think, like the 2 most exciting prizes of the night.
Yes, absolutely. We have the Man U Buff. Am I saying that right? I never say things right.
I think that sounds good.
All right.
Manu? Sure, yeah. Which is coming from Kelley Wentworth and will be signed by Kelley Wentworth.
Oh.
So it's a pretty good prize.
That is a huge prize.
Who is going
Team
to take
Wentworth,
home
the
this
winner. Who's going to take home the signed
Survivor
buff?
buff? Oh shit! David Jackson.
David, hey
You didn't win
now.
the game, but you win a damn good prize.
Big pickup. That's exciting.
Go
And then our
David.
last item, the Zoom call with Kelley. And being someone who's been on a Zoom call with Kelley, it is awesome. She gives you all kinds of info. This is going to be a great prize. I already know it. If you want to know things about Survivor, Kelley's your go-to.
Yeah, Kelley is the best. You're gonna have a good time. So let's find out who is taking this home. Oh, Dakota Hauser is taking home
Hey,
the Kelley
Dakota!
Ball. Good job, sir.
Awesome. Dakota Hauser with the Zoom call with Kelley That should be a fun
Dakota,
chat.
he won the Zoom call with Ethan too. This kid has good luck.
Just puts all his tickets in the Zoom calls. Just getting
It's
those
not a bad
Survivor
strategy.
getting those Survivor links. Watch, there'll be Instagram fans after this. Who knows where it'll lead.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. We will put links to all of the Etsy shops if you guys want to get your hands on some of these cool prizes. Thank you for being with us for this season. And we are going to be announcing one of our captains for season 4 this week, so stay tuned.
Yeah, ready for another season already. That should be a lot of fun, so make sure you look out for us. Also look back at past seasons. Lots of content on our YouTube channel, and yeah, plenty of minis and stuff coming, so make sure you guys get your applications in too. Come join the community. It's a lot of fun. So, for Jessica Martin, I'm Jonathan Knights. This was Expedition Online Season 3, Glacier Bay. We'll see you next time.